Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last session of our World of Darkness game, GM'd by Mathas.
Hello.
Hello.
As David slowly disappears again.
Into the ghost. Whoa.
Oh no! Don't touch her.
This is what is it? World of Darkness, just like us, except for Dave. So, all right. So I'm not going to waste any time aside from staring at Dave because this is amusing.
It's interesting.
Mike, please.
Yeah, sure. All right, so before we dive in, just a disclaimer, this is the last episode, and it will be, what, my guess, 1 to 2 hours? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Should be fun. Hope you guys are excited. Where we last left off
So are we gonna like point the gun at the guy and be like, just like, who are you? What are you doing here? Let me explain everything. Oh, okay.
Go for it. That's fine.
Well, it is 50s noir. That is appropriate.
That is very true.
There's a precedence for that.
You're supposed to let the evil guy give his evil guy spiel.
Yeah.
He's like, hold on, I'm trying to pick a monologue right now, okay?
Don't just put a bullet in his head and end it, man. No, come on, that's just no fun. So we actually ended the last episode where you guys got into the maintenance elevator and were able to make your way up to the 7th floor, the top floor of this particular building. You weren't sure if you were going to get there, but you were. For whatever reason, the maintenance elevator did work while the stairs in the other elevator did not. And as the doors open to this elevator, you are greeted with the giant number 7. But more importantly, as the doors open, the very, very first thing that strikes you on this floor, on the 7th floor, is how pristine it all is. The walls look clean and well kept. The rug beneath your feet looks clean as well and undisturbed. There's no smell like there was coming from the 6th floor whatsoever. There's no screams that you can hear in the distance or any clattering or anything. It's for whatever
That's
reason.
what has been normal to us, guys.
We've been
Explaining all the
hearing
normal
screams
things that have happened.
We've been hearing screams in the distance.
Well, when like the evil guys show up, you can hear them banging on the walls or yelling. But no, everything seems to be completely untouched up here, at least as the doors open. You're all jammed in there. There's 5 of you, right? Because Scott brought unconscious man that none of you know to this floor.
Yes.
Right.
Also, kind of made him, to be fair.
We're still carrying him around.
Yeah. Don't
still
phrase it like it was my decision. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I asked him on multiple occasions, and we keep dragging this stupid body.
I'm sorry.
around.
You what?
Asked you.
I'm sorry. What?
I asked you. There was a please in there.
There was that last time.
There wasn't always a please. Let's be honest.
Wasn't always a please, but it's a human being.
Yeah, I feel you. Although you guys still killed the other one that I knew, the person I knew.
It resolved a lot of issues. That
Yeah.
could have popped
It
up.
did not resolve any issue.
Yes,
You
it did.
killed the guy I knew, and then you dragged the body that I didn't know with us.
And
Who
now
was
he's trying to
murder
now he's
my
got problems.
That's a good point.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Deborah, stop
just
trying to
wanna
make this
state
all
that.
about you.
That's all.
Okay.
Oh my god. Michael's like, yes, this is exactly how
Fight
I
amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I know.
make them fight each other.
If I don't have to kill you, you kill each other. Great.
I mean, Moose is gonna win.
I mean, that's also well. Dave has a gun.
Yeah. So this is how it's gonna play out. Moose is gonna kill the other 2, like that. He's gonna get shot with a couple of bullets and then fall on top of the scrawny little guy. He's going, I can't get up. No, really, somebody help me. But nobody will, and then he dies too.
Well, actually, Deborah, recall you have a gun as well with 2 bullets.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
You have a stub nose pistol with a +1.
Although she doesn't really know how to use it.
I was gonna say, come on.
I asked you if you know how to use it, and you said yes.
No, she didn't. She said kind of.
Oh.
I think she said she used to shoot plates back in the yard,
No,
or was that the NPC?
That is not what I said.
Oh, the
that
NPC used to
Ollie
say
might
that.
have said.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I think I said I could, but
I
Do you have
don't know.
any-
Did
do you have any
England have
points in-
guns in the 50s?
I thought I had a bat.
you have a bat. He gave you the gun. I
Oh,
have
you gave
nothing.
me the other gun. That's right. Later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The 38.
But I didn't say that I knew. I said kind of. Yeah.
okay. Well, whatever. We'll see how that plays out.
It's fine.
I'm not worth weapons right now because I'm
We're
just
not gonna
like
die. Everything's gonna
one
be okay.
moose punch away from dying again. So
According to Dave, we're not even real people. So
We'll see. I don't know.
this is all a dream. We're dreaming that
Not
we're
being
in.
real people, that's an
Yeah,
exaggeration.
Thomas thinks it's a dream.
But it's also not completely incorrect. Anyway.
So, what? Who goes first? What do you guys do?
All right, so set up the scene precisely. What exactly do we see as we come out of the elevator?
So you all take your steps outside the elevator, and as you make your way into the hallway, presumably, and you look down the hallway, before we even talk about what's going on there, the 4 of you, without needing to make any rolls, outside of looking immaculate up here, the 4 of you have an unshakable feeling of being watched. There just feels like this eyes boring into the back of your neck, no matter where you turn and where you go. Moreover, while you're walking on rug, sure, but the noises of you walking or even saying words to one another, whether it be whispered or lowered voice, everything feels like it's slightly muted, almost kind of underwater-esque in a way. I'm not necessarily saying underwater, it's a hint, but just to give you an idea of the effect or almost how different it feels up here comparatively to the 2 floors that you've been on below.
Does anyone else feel that? Everything just sounds so weird, and I feel like someone's watching me.
I look around. It's like actually unsettled by how normal everything is.
Mhm.
And just be like, I take out my gun and just be like, be ready for anything.
Is there any way to like investigate the area or like
Feel
see
free.
what else seems out of the norm?
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to go right ahead and make an investigation, a wits plus investigation check.
Wits plus investigation.
I'll join you in that.
While they're doing that, I will take custody of the dude, and I'll just set him up in like the corner of the hallway.
You just prop him up.
Custody of the dude.
All right, just pat him on the head.
The body.
Stay there. A critical success and a regular success. So you said you're looking to see if anything else feels off or wrong.
Yeah, like out of place, because obviously everything looks so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But-
Nothing actually seems out of place. Nothing seems off or weird or out of the ordinary, other than what I've already said to you. However, Maggie specifically, while with a critical success, At the end of the hallway, or in the middle of the hallway, and it seems the other three haven't noticed it, but for some reason you do, there is a body laying on its back, just in the middle of the floor. It wasn't there. You're certain it wasn't there a minute ago, but as you turned your head and looked back, suddenly it is there.
Do you see that on the floor in the middle of the hallway? There's a body there. It wasn't there a moment ago.
I'll go up to it to see if it's safe before the doctor.
Can we
The three
see?
of you do not see it. As she even says the words, you look.
I'll whip around because she doesn't really say exactly what she saw.
Yep.
So I whip around with my gun. Like I was gonna check on the guy, but this is like, oh, okay, here we go. Things are happening.
Look
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Direction.
Yeah, but the three of you do not see what she's seeing.
What I call out was like, what do you see, Deborah?
It's right there. Can't you see it? It looks like a body laying on the ground.
Tell me where. I'll look, and I'll like.
It's right there in the middle of the floor. Are you not seeing it?
I'll walk over to
I'm
where
not
it looks
losing my
like
mind.
to where it looked like she's gesturing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make your way over there, and are you walking like trying to like?
Yeah,
maybe,
I'm gonna
lean
look
forward?
back a few times. I'm gonna have like a look of confusion, which is typical Moose, as well as concern, as I look back to see where she's gesturing and like kind of like calling to.
Yeah, you guys, I'm assuming, kind of go back and forth, like no, a few steps forward or whatever until you get to the point where you believe the body should be. You're kicking your foot around, and it seems as though it's just going through air. And Maggie, as you're watching him, he is definitely making contact, or at least he should be making contact with his foot to this body. However, it does seem to be passing through it as though there's nothing.
He's walking through it.
All
Yeah,
right.
it seems to be
So-
nothing.
So
It's like the plate that you threw earlier. Was it a plate? What did you
It
throw?
was a cup. It was a cup.
Mug or
Oh,
something.
it's like the mug that you threw earlier. He's walking right through him.
Describe what you see.
So do
What
you want to
what
get
do I
closer?
see? And then
Sure.
I'm going to be like, that's what I described.
So Deborah makes her way closer to the body to get a better look and to give you a more apt description of it. Maggie, as you get closer, more details are starting to become clearer and clearer. First thing that sticks out to you is there's no blood immediately in the vicinity. However, there is a knife jutting out of the chest of this gentleman who's lying on the floor.
Sorry, he's on his back. He's on his back,
Yes, facing the ceiling,
and the knife is in his chest.
and the knife is right in his chest. Correct.
Gotcha.
So as you go to this body and you see the knife sticking out, Meg, can you make me a memory roll, which is specifically, I can't remember off the top of my
Intelligence
head.
plus.
Uh,
Actually, Maggie, you probably know best because your character has a memory
Isn't it
power.
wits plus
I've-
composure?
Eidetic memory, so I can do a plus.
energetic memory.
What is it?
Wits plus composure is a perception check.
It's intelligence plus something.
Yeah, it's intelligence plus something, but you can go ahead and do an intelligence plus your eidetic memory, I think is what it would
It's the same roll. I'm pretty sure that it's the same roll, just she has bonuses.
Oh, right. Let me take a look at the character sheet.
Well, I get +2.
Yeah. So
So if it's intelligence plus whatever, then yeah. Oh, I don't know.
What? Memory check, World of Darkness.
well, I can probably also look this up.
I'm
in the
gonna
book.
say intelligence plus resolve.
That's what we've been doing is intelligence plus resolve.
Is that what we've been doing?
Yep.
Then
So intelligence plus resolve plus 2.
there you
Yeah,
go.
+2. Will do.
Do you remember?
3.
3 successes. As you come to see this guy's face, and his face is his eyes are wide open, and he's completely clean shaven, maybe in his mid-20s with combed brown hair. He's in a khakis and in a button-down shirt, a button-down blue shirt specifically. The face that you see is familiar, very familiar, but as you kind of reach into your memory and you're desperately looking for who he is, how do you know him, where is he from? I mean, you have one of the best memories of anybody you know, if not the best memory of every person you know. The face, it's like having something at the tip of your tongue. As you're about to say it, or as you're about to grasp who this person is, it slips away within seconds. And it keeps happening, and the more you look at him, the more it frustrates you that you know this person. You don't know how you know this person. And the more you look at him as time passes, blood starts to slowly trickle from the wound in his chest.
It's not Josiah.
Who?
Josiah Barnes.
No, not Josiah
No.
Barnes. No. Somebody that Yeah, you can't quite place it. But as the wound actually does start to bleed after a little bit of time from staring at him, but the blood doesn't pour outward normally. It starts to drip upward slowly. And then the drops become a stream, and they start, it kind of splatters up against the ceiling and spreads slowly across the ceiling.
Are you guys seeing this?
No,
The
three of
wound
you
in
are
his
not seeing it.
chest, it's bleeding, but the blood's going upward. And she starts like backing up.
I'm gonna say like
Looking up.
Deborah, look around the room. Does it look like the room is like correctly oriented? Like you're standing on the floor?
Does it look like the room is correctly oriented?
You are looking around, paying specific attention to see if you are on the floor, on the rug, or on the ceiling, or if things have warped as you've stared at this gentleman for a little while, and it all seems normal, with the exception of him.
Everything looks normal except for what's going on with this. This is definitely not normal. And I know him, and I've seen him before. I can't put my. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Shoot it.
Since we came here, or from before?
From before, right?
Before.
Now,
From
this is the
before.
understatement
You
of
gotta-
the year.
you gotta
Today's
shoot
been
it.
a stressful day.
I think he used to maybe live here.
Yeah, but
This
now
is
he's
probably
bleeding
all
up.
in your head.
Oh.
You both talked at the same time.
Yeah, I have no idea who said what.
Probably all in your head. I think he said to shoot it.
All right. Well,
I
I
said
don't
it's
think
bleeding up.
it's not in her head, and I'm not going to shoot it. So, let's just back away and let's watch it for a moment. See what Deborah, see what it does.
Doc, you're not the only one with a gun, and you can't see it anyway. Why, Deborah, shoot it.
I don't think shooting is gonna do anything. I mean, you walked right past it, right through it.
Did I?
Moose, you're taking all this in stride. Your character's just like, whatever. If we
So
survive
dumb.
this, you're gonna just like, talk about this whole situation like it was just one weird day.
Rest of us will be in insane asylums the rest
Listen,
of our
like,
lives.
Moose
I've
had
had
some-
worse days.
Moose-
I've woken up like, butt naked down the street.
Moose had some laced cigarettes, and he's just going with the flow. Man. Like every time it comes up, Moose is either like he said, either we've taken some weird shit, or I'm just in hell, and I just have to accept it. One or the other.
That one weird day.
That one weird day.
Anyway, all right. So, what do you do, Deborah? I'm just curious.
I'm just backing up and I'm watching this blood going upward.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this. I'm assuming.
No, not at all. It doesn't. It's not necessarily out of place to what you've obviously been experiencing for the past, day or so,
Yeah.
because everything's fucked, but nothing in your everyday life. So you're gonna stare at it and watch it a while and see what happens. Eventually, if that's what you're gonna do.
If there's nothing else in the room that seems off other than this
Yep.
fellow.
Nothing seems off. So while I explain this, Scott, can you make me a wits plus composure check? Just you. You're watching this thing, and the blood continues to pour until it slows to a drip, and then the blood eventually stops, and it's soaked the ceiling. It's messy and disgusting and horrible, and eventually it stops. And you blink a few times, and he's still there, and the body hasn't moved, and he hasn't gotten up, and the body just is lying there.
I'm gonna ask. Resolve that roll.
Oh, I'll get to. Don't worry, I'll get to that in a second.
Well, I was gonna say like, if you're explaining any of this, I'd be like, and like, with a sigh, are you able to touch it? If it's
I
just
can
a
try.
body,
I mean,
just touch its foot.
Moose couldn't.
I'm
gonna-
but Moose can't see.
I'm gonna like kick it with my leg.
You make contact.
It
Whoa.
moved.
You see the way her leg moved?
Yeah, her leg very clearly gets stopped.
Apparently, I can interact with it, but Moose walked right through him.
Can you? I'm gonna be like, very carefully. Can you try searching for him, maybe for identification, anything on him, something that could tell us who he is and what?
Deborah gets down and starts checking his pockets.
Yep, please make me it's a wits plus investigation.
Be careful, it might get up again.
Yeah.
People don't stay dead anymore here in this haunted fucking house.
4 successes.
So you're rifling through all of his pockets as if anything. There's no wallet on him, no keys. However, they're deep in one of his pockets, his back left pocket. There is a tiny piece of paper that you're able to pull out, crumpled up into a tiny ball that you're able to physically remove.
I unwrap the ball. What does it say?
Pause. Is she holding a piece of paper?
Do you try and show it to them, or do you just immediately unravel it?
I immediately unwrap it.
We're all watching.
Yeah, we got to pay
True.
attention to this.
So if you all get close and you see it, as she like opens her hand to move something, there's a piece of paper that the three of you can see.
Okay.
Whoa, take your shoes off.
The three of you, however, when the paper gets unraveled, looks like a blank piece of paper to you. Doesn't seem like there's anything on it. To you, however, Deborah, it is very clearly the snipping of a headline to a newspaper of some sort.
What does it read?
A couple of letters and that's it. There's no full thing. It's just
What are the letters that I see?
T-O.
T-O.
Oh.
T-O.
What does it mean?
Like, is it T space O?
No, T-O.
Lowercase t, or just 2?
Capital T, capital O, but they're
Capital.
clearly in the same word. The font is very clearly headlined font. Like it would be a big headline on the newspaper. That's it. It's tiny. It's like the piece of paper it's ripped. It's not a full piece of paper. It's just ripped from a newspaper of some sort.
Okay.
Is it lowercase or uppercase?
He just said they're both uppercase.
They're
Sorry.
both uppercase. So it would
So
be like
I-
a headline on a
I
newspaper.
pull this out and I'm like, I don't see anything else on him. All I'm seeing is this. And I open it up and I'm like, it looks like a newspaper headline, but there's only 2 letters on it. T-O.
Two.
Well, yeah, but it's like capitalized, so I think
I like
it's
how
a
Moose
little
said
something.
that.
Like
So he
like on
discovered-
a Christmas present.
I don't think it's something like that.
It's a letter.
I don't think it's a letter. It looks like a newspaper. I mean, I'm a journalist. I've seen these before.
Oh, dear Abby.
Is there dots to represent it might be an acronym?
Nope.
Okay.
He said it looks like a newspaper clipping.
Probably like the middle of a word.
All right.
My
Anyway.
assumption.
Well, that's a really
hold on,
it's a really good question. Middle of the word is the rip so close to the letters that it could be the
good
middle,
point.
or would it be like
It's clearly the first 2 letters of a word.
tomato?
I'm assuming that it's going to be tomato.
So are like, okay.
Tomato farmers gunned down.
I can't
What's
misplace
this?
it.
What's this apartment building called?
Green Hill Heights, I believe I called it.
Do we know what it was called in the past?
No, you just know
It
that
was a manor.
it was a manor that belonged to. Did I tell you? Who it belonged to?
Josiah and Andrea Barnes.
Yes, there you go. It belonged to Josiah and Andrea Barnes. So-
Maggie, what were you gonna say before? What were we talking?
Oh, I was wondering if there were edges on it, and like which parts were ripped, which edges were ripped.
The whole piece of paper is ripped.
All ripped around.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So it's like in the middle.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Scott, the conversation they're having conversation, but all of that is abruptly ended for you specifically to screams at the end of a hallway. And by screams, I mean a scream.
Mm-hmm.
And what wheels around at the end of the hallway is a man engulfed in flames, running straight down the hall
Towards or away?
towards.
I mean, I'm gonna be like, oh, dude, and I'm gonna like run to like get in front of them and in front of that guy and kind of like wheel up a haymaker to get ready to like clock this person before he gets
love
us.
Sure. Absolutely.
You should roll them on the ground, like stop, drop, and roll. If you catch on fire, people, stop, drop, and roll.
It's a real weird.
It's a fire ghost, though.
Do you say anything other than that, dude? Are you just like, dude, and just get ready? And because he's running full speed, so it's not long before he's going to get to you in the first place.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly that.
So you step forward, presumably in front of the 3 of them,
Yep.
and prepare for this thing. As he gets closer, you can feel the heat emanating off of this guy.
Mhm.
You can see his exposed skin as his clothing is all but completely burnt away. And as he gets close, feel free to make me an attack roll. He has no defense, so you're welcome to
Do
just...
I see?
Can
we
we
see
see
what he sees?
No, none of you see anything.
Do you see what I see?
What are you doing, Moose?
He's gone crazy again.
Spending a willpower to make
He's
it
like a
lethal?
barbarian.
Spending a willpower to hit this guy.
Rages.
To make it
Runs
lethal.
forward.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because, why not?
Good.
Go nuts, man. Go nuts.
Yeah, right. At that point, fucking whatever. So you hit for 3, 4. You're right. 4 because there's always one more.
Lethal.
Right, lethal
Oh,
damage.
are you gonna take a second? Don't you have a second hit?
I do have a second attack. I will do that. Sorry, with my... unless he describes otherwise.
I mean, you're welcome to make your go for it.
It's all like instinct at this point, anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like it'd be instinctual.
two.
You wouldn't hit the guy and wait to see if he reacts. You would go for the 2 hit. So 3 lethal. So total of 4, 5, 7 lethal damage.
7.
That would
Honestly, people,
mostly-
if someone's trying to murder you, don't stop to see how they react to your first punch. Punch it.
right? Yeah, no shit.
Or keep
they are-
shooting, whatever it is.
Good call, Maggie.
There's
Good
so many
call.
people do that. No, they do. Like if you watch some of those like shot videos of people when they're like getting attacked, they'll like shoot and be like, "Did I hit him?" It's like, no, just keep shooting.
I was thinking in D&D terms where do I finish my second attack on this guy or move and attack this guy instead? But no, you are completely correct. Do not.
I was
do not
talking
think,
about
just
IRL,
hit.
like if someone's
Yeah.
attacking.
Just
Right.
fucking hit. Just keep hitting.
Anyway, so this guy's charging at you again. You can feel the heat emanating. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter as he gets close. But Moose, being who he is, doesn't care. It's almost it's instinct for him at this point, just to attack anything that threatens him. Steps forward, throws a punch, connects clearly with the stomach. Scott, you can feel the connection. And as you wind up and hit for the second punch up against the jaw of this gentleman, as you connect with him, his entire body explodes into a cloud of ash. And the ash kind of carries on the momentum that this guy had and kind of goes past you. And the ash hits you clearly and then kind of dissipates as the screams stop. And while you don't have ash on you, I like how you're covering your nose. While you have no visible ash on you, you feel incredibly dehydrated.
Oh, so I'll cover my face as
Yeah.
it kind of whooshes through, and they're kind of looking at me like I'm a crazy person. And then I'm gonna look around, still covering my face as I'm feeling the dryness in my mouth and the stickiness of my saliva and all that stuff. I'm gonna kind of
what
look
did you
back
see?
at
You're
them.
just punching.
Do they? So they don't react at all to it.
I mean,
my-
the 3 of them did.
I mean, I'm reacting.
well,
That's how I'm
we're reacting
reacting.
to
Is
you.
I'm asking.
We're
him.
giving weird looks.
I'm not giving him a weird look. I'm looking at him like, what did he see? Because
Yeah.
clearly I'm seeing, I don't think he's crazy because I also see something that no one else sees.
Oh,
But everyone else, I would, yeah, they probably are looking at him like he's crazy.
there was a guy on fire running down the hall at you, and so I gave him the old 1-2, and then he exploded in a bunch of ashes.
Well, he what?
Listen,
Been reading too many novels.
I'm a bit parched. You got that bottle? I say, pointing to Thomas.
Yeah.
It's the
I
50s.
don't know whether I should share it with you after you've beaten me senseless however many times.
Maybe next time I'll miss.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason that they tore down this building and built a new one. I mean, like I said before, something didn't go quite right in their agreement when they
Yeah.
sold the building. So maybe this has to tie in with it.
All right.
I just can't remember what else I've read on this before. Can I do another thing to see if I remember now?
Oh, his face?
No, about the building and why it was I knew that there was a disagreement between the owners and whenever they were transferring it or whatever.
Yeah, nope. You are not yet. There's not been enough new information to really give a second roll. Not yet, anyway.
All right. So I say let's move on.
To the roof.
Well, I mean, can we see the entirety of this hallway? Does it go around a corner?
It goes around a corner like every other floors. When you get to the end, it'll split left and right. It'll go two different.
I assume there's apartment doors.
Yes, of course. There are a few.
Can I check a few of them?
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome to.
Are
Just
any
want to
of
check the
them
first one. Just
open?
So if you check the first one is open. Before we open the door, I just want you all to know, the 4 of you, as you have been talking and been on this floor for a little while, a few minutes, the 4 of you feel a little hungry.
And thirsty?
You feel thirsty. You feel
I don't say
dehydrated.
anything, but my stomach audibly growls.
Yeah. Scott, you're more than thirsty, dude. You are ravenous for something to drink.
I could eat a moose. No?
We all just look at him like,
Just a little hungry, a little peckish, nothing big.
Okay, so I'm going to, with my gun, like, out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like, all right, let's just at least investigate this floor a little bit.
So do we like? So I'll say in game. Do we want to split up to get both holes and? Because I'll take Thomas.
No, thank you.
phrasing.
Would rather not.
Oh,
We should stay together at this point. We're stronger together. And some of us can't even see what we're fighting, apparently.
And we already lost Janice. I don't know what happened to her, and it's probably best we don't lose each other.
Well, I agree we should stay together just specifically because it seems that some of us can see the threats and some of us cannot.
that's why I was splitting with Thomas. Because Deborah's got them eyes. I guess I got good eyes too.
I'm seeing double right now.
All right. Hang in there, Thomas. All right. I open the door. And then do the classic point.
I'm gonna have my gun out too.
Okay.
Although she's probably holding it wrong.
As long as you got the hollow end
Yeah, I was
pointed
like-
away.
You say it's
Oh yeah,
backwards.
it's pointed the right way.
She's staring down the clip.
You should always not put your finger on the trigger. She probably has her finger on the trigger.
Yeah, bad trigger.
You can tell the difference between somebody who owns guns and doesn't.
Yeah, misfire.
So with Constantine taking the lead and creaking open the very first door, presented before you as you open the building is a perfectly clean looking apartment with a kitchen table and a couple of chairs, a radio, a bedroom with a bed that has been made and kept neatly. Everything looks great in here.
Gonna push through and go straight to the fridge because I bet there's good food here.
Good. Question. Is this the kind of apartment building, assumedly not, considering you described it as in a horrible downtown New York area, where you would leave your apartment unlocked?
You definitely wouldn't.
No. So even just the fact that we can get in here is weird. Okay.
So when I see you guys all pushing, not all of you, but some of you pushing by me, I would just be like, just keep your wits about you. I'm gonna head over to the radio and turn it on.
Oh, they got milk.
Sure. Dave, you go over to the radio and you turn the knob looking for any sign of anything. As the audible click of the radio gets twisted, the three of you, except for Dave, hear nothing. Nothing seems to be coming through this radio, much like everything else in this apartment. Dave, you hear white noise.
I try adjusting
Tuning
the
it?
channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're tuning it and oh wait, was that a voice? No, I can't find it. And you keep turning it and tuning it and listening until eventually you hear. Oh wait.
Sorry, just because of my wife.
Yeah, no problem. You tune until eventually you have a voice that does seem to be coming through. However, the voice isn't clear. It's clearly in distress. It's clearly panicking, and the voice gets more audibly frantic until you hear a loud bang. Clearly a gunfire, and then silence.
From the radio or from the building?
All of it from the radio. Everything that I'm describing is coming out of the radio. As you tune frantically, looking for maybe more, you visually do find another voice. And the more you listen to it, the more you realize that's the voice you just heard. And it seems to be doing the same thing. Worried, panic, paranoia, frantic, bang, white noise.
All right, so it's on a repeat. It's on a loop.
Mm-hmm. The three of you hear nothing otherwise.
Okay, so you guys do see me. I seem to be listening to something on the radio.
I'm
He's
looking
intently listening.
around the room. Do I see anything else that?
No, like I said, it's a pristine looking apartment. Clearly the creatures or the people from the lower floors are not on this floor, or at least haven't shown up
Can I
yet.
open? Are there any bedroom or are there any doors that are closed? If there are, I would like to
No,
open.
nothing is closed. Closet doors, but like the bedroom doors
Does
open.
anything look like somebody was like grabbing something quick or like because all of us kind of like rushed and were grabbing stuff,
if
right?
you would like to do a closer inspection and want to spend some
Yes,
time,
I'd like to investigate while the guys are drinking milk.
wits plus investigation.
I've got something stronger, maybe.
Scott, you went right to the fridge, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
grabbing some milk.
Sure. You
Yeah.
as you open the fridge, desperate for something to eat or drink, the fridge is stark empty. There's nothing in there.
What?
Oh, that's mean.
Just kidding, no milk for you.
It's the 50s. No like roast beef or whole turkey sitting inside there.
You would definitely
Dude.
think there would be something in the refrigerator.
Just use the tap, you animal.
For food?
Yes, not where food
You are
comes from.
thirsty.
All right, I'm gonna rummage through the
Also
cabinets for cans
Oh, yeah,
of
there
food
anything in
while
the cabinets
drinking
is
water from the tap out of my hand.
I'm just like watching him, just like, Moose, you animal.
Yeah, he's an animal because he's slurping nothing. The taps don't work.
Come on!
As you whip open the cupboards, all the cupboards are bare. There's nothing in them.
Not even a crumb for the Mises?
Not even a crumb for the
I
Mises or the
expected a
moose.
cat to jump at me or something.
Oh, there's the sixth cat. We found it. It made its way upstairs.
Hey, food.
Maggie, you take your time going through this place, combing it. What's weird about it is that nothing seems out of place. Everything seems as though it's almost hotel room clean.
Something seems off about this place. It's like there's nothing in here.
Maybe it doesn't exist.
After my character like becomes confident that what he like, identifying what he's hearing on the radio, I'll speak up and say, "Has anyone been able to hear anything coming through the radio?"
I haven't heard anything.
Well, I think I'm actually hearing on repeat one of the gunshots that we heard when we were downstairs. It seems that someone becomes distressed and then is shot, and then it repeats on the
Explain
radio.
it exactly.
I say there's a voice. Is it a man or a woman's voice?
Male.
It's a man's voice, and it becomes more and more distressed.
What is he saying?
Is there any distinctive words?
In the beginning, there's not. However, the more and more you listen, you've been able to pick up a couple of things, but they're mostly like, "Help me, please. It's not necessary." Like more like begging or bargaining with whoever might be shooting.
He says words like "help me," and it's like this isn't necessary. It sounds like he's begging for his life, and then becomes more and more frantic until the gunshot rings out and he's silenced.
But it's on repeat.
Yes, well he's silenced, and then there's white noise, and then
You
it starts
have to tune to find it again.
Oh, and then I said I have to find it on a different channel.
Interesting. It's like someone's trying to communicate with us. Maybe the person, I don't know. I've read books like this, paranormal stuff where, I mean, the stories, I wouldn't think that something like this would be real, but I wouldn't expect what has happened to us today to have happened. It's
All
like
right, so sorry.
they're trying to get us to help fix their problem.
I kind of give you this solemn look, and I kind of give you like a nod of agreement, and then I look over to the kitchen. It's like, would you be able to find anything?
No.
All right.
Like
Anything-
walking into the
Even
room.
their dresser drawers and closets empty, right?
Everything.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't think
like
they're
a
gonna
it's
find-
like a model. Like
I don't think they're gonna find anything in those drawers. I looked in the closet even, and there's nothing. It's like no one really lives here.
Let's try one more, and then let's head up to the roof. That's what I
Thank
Alright.
you.
That's what I suggest.
Yeah. Do the three of you agree?
Yeah. I just want to go to the roof.
All right, so
Oh,
I
hang on.
say we open up one more, make a quick check to see if it's also similarly like barren.
Right before we walk out of that
I'll let
room,
you
I'll
think
think of
good.
something. Moose will think of something. I'm gonna pick up a random chair sitting around the room, remembering something that was described earlier, and I'm just so like we'll be walking out. I'm like, huh. I was just gonna pick up a random chair and turn and hurl it as hard as I can at one of the windows that leave the apartment and go to the outside.
What are you doing? Like as you're throwing it, she's saying that.
Yeah. So after
The
it like
chair-
hits the glass, before I respond, I want to hear what happens.
You fling, assuming maybe Moose is like, well, if things are different here, maybe the window will break or whatever. Throw on the chair at the window, and
You miss.
similarly, The chair collides with the window. The window spiders and cracks, but it does not break, and the chair bounces back.
You know, it looked fun.
I know. I'll actually say like it wasn't a bad idea.
Our young Moose is learning science.
Deborah's looking at you and like shaking her head questioningly.
Anyway, so just go across the hall, the closest apartment.
Yep. Absolutely.
Open.
It's just straight across, and much like this apartment, this door is unlocked as well. The body, by the way, Maggie, for you, is still in the hallway, in case you do check.
Is the blood still like going up in the air?
There's still blood on the ceiling. It's not coming out of him anymore, like I described earlier, but there's still blood. The blood that is on the ceiling.
The blood that's on the ceiling, does it look weird, or I mean, other than the fact that it's on the ceiling?
Yeah. Other than that, no.
Okay.
Did we
Are you
learn?
sure you guys can't see that?
Did we learn what?
Did we learn, because David and I discussed these procedures before Moose completely changed the plan, but now that we're being like together, agreeing with one another, so on and so forth, are we doing tactics like where a door opens, like Moose pushes it open quickly and you've got the gun pointed out? Like, is this like a procedure we should have be like our normal, 3.5, like door procedures?
Well, if I notice that Moose looks like he's like on that page, like it's like he's like in a tactical mood, I'll be like, I'll confirm with my I'll look at him and just like gesture to the door as I step back with my gun.
Yeah.
Do we all have weapons?
As I speak with my.
I am gonna go over to the body and pull a knife out of that guy's chest.
Okay. Before we get to the door, then Maggie, you bend over and just grasp the knife, and it's there. You physically feel it, and you just rip it from his chest as fast as you can. And as you do so, and as you pull the knife from his chest, his face not springs to life, but the pained, terrified expression on his face is now met with a voice equally as horrified and in pain as the expression that he has. He very quickly and weakly almost reaches with both of his arms, desperate almost to touch you, to grab onto you, to something before the short scream stops. His hands fall by his side, and the body whisks away into nothing.
Do I have the knife?
You have it.
It was a load-bearing knife.
For fuck's sake.
Oh God.
You have the knife. Yes.
She just kind of like kneels there for like a moment and says, "May God take your soul." And then she gets back up and attempts to hand the knife to I'm trying to remember, Thomas.
No.
And I don't know.
Moose has been stabbed by Thomas so many times.
Thomas
gonna
clearly
watch you
knows
do
how to
it.
use a knife, so
It's a magic item. It's an invisible knife.
I don't know.
Ghost knife.
I don't know if you can actually see it.
So
when
if
I-
you go to be like Tom, do you like gesture and try to hand it
Yeah.
to Thomas? There is a knife in her hand, and Thomas can see it, and Thomas can pick it up, and now Thomas is holding a knife.
I look to it with like discomfort.
Thomas, make
like
me a roll. Let's see if you desperately want to stab me.
I was like shifting.
Thomas
weight.
kind of does.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I feel like this is like the Homestar Runner like kick the cheat moment where it's just like
just do it.
Oh,
Bringing me
Homestar.
back to high school days, man.
Maggie actually did a stream only like a month and a half ago or whatever of playing that game.
Yeah,
I watched it. It was so much fun.
I'm not done playing through all of them yet. There's so many.
There's like 5 and they're pretty long.
They're
Homestar,
fun.
man.
It's good though. It's worth it. It's worth the money. It's not
It was
that
their
expensive.
last hurrah.
How many times did we just like watch Homestar in like computer class? Back in the
Homestar.
back when the teacher, our computer teacher, he was like, we went to a Catholic school. He's a brother of the Sacred Heart, and he was like 70 something probably. Dude didn't have any idea like outside of like Microsoft Word as to what a computer could do. And there was a point where like all the computers were networked, and you could access the network and just rip the homework from somebody else's computer and slap your name on it and print it out and hand it in.
Oh God.
So easy. And the dude had no idea. He was-
It's so funny how much like people really didn't know how to use the
Oh
computer.
yeah, I don't know why he was teaching computers. Good God.
Yeah.
someone's gotta.
He was.
I did
He was
the
cheap
first-
with the budget.
You know how you had like typing class or like keyboard class or whatever in school? I got done with all of the homework assignments for the whole entire semester in one day.
I never had
Sounds
any.
about right.
I'm a terrible typer. I never had a keyboard class for my school. It was an elective. I could do that, or I could do calculus in middle school. So I did calculus instead. So instead of learning how to type well, I just learned how to do math.
It was like a mandatory thing for us, so we took it. But I was like, then the rest of the class, the teacher like gave me this other program I could make games with, which was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Just did that the rest of the day.
Thomas, you have a knife.
Yay!
Yeah, Thomas, you have a knife now.
Yeah, don't kick the key. Don't kick the key.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay.
All right.
Moose busts open the door with Constantine right behind him, and you are greeted with a very familiar sight, a very clean looking apartment.
All right. Does it look similar, like identical to the other one?
Oh, basic, more or less. With the exception of maybe like the table might be a little bigger with a couple extra chairs. Maybe a family lives here instead of maybe like 2 people, but for the most part, there's a radio in the corner like in the other one. There's a bedroom over there. There's a kitchen over there.
Does it look exactly the same?
Pretty much. Like 9 out of 10 things are the same.
I'm gonna gesture.
What is the
Moose is drinking
1 out of
air.
10 things that is not in the same place?
A few extra chairs by the table.
That's
more or
it.
less, and that's really it.
I'm gonna gesture towards the kitchen for Moose to check it out just one more time, just for
Does
that.
everybody do their thing? Does everybody spread out
Yeah.
and just go through the
I
apartment?
want to
I
investigate.
kinda hang by the door and don't do much.
Where do we slop that body? Did we like drop it on the couch while we're checking the place?
Constantine slumped it in a corner in the hallway.
In the
Yeah,
corner
I think
right
that's
outside the elevator.
Okay.
Actually, my plan right now is just to leave it there.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to like
Thanks,
this
Dave.
place looks relatively safe, and I just don't want it to be in like the being consumed by evil floors. like if this
It's always the stuff that looks the safest that's not.
but I mean like I don't know what awaits us on the roof. Well, we'll see. If this place starts getting consumed by like Silent Hill, I'll probably change my tune about that, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna check the
So
radio.
everybody's exploring except for Thomas. Is that my understanding?
Yeah.
Thomas is standing by the door.
Thomas, are you watching the hallway?
I mean, I'm saying I am, but I'm not really.
Yeah.
Thanks, Thomas.
I'm just kind of like,
He's
Thomas, I
chilling.
want you to make me if you're watching the hallway, you may make me a wits plus composure check. But if you're actively not being
yeah.
deceptive, go ahead and take a -2 on that.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
You're drunk as well. So.
Exactly.
I
That's
forgot about
why I'm not
Yeah.
really doing the job.
Cool.
Just enjoying
Everybody else
it.
goes through. Moose, you're ripping open every cupboard, desperately looking for some sort of drink, and you find nothing. Maggie, you're meticulously going through everything that you can, and you, much like last time, everything seems in place. Dave, are you going to the radio? Are you doing the
Radio.
thing? You
Radio.
turn the radio on, and you once again hear white noise. The other 2, 3 hear nothing.
Yep, and try tuning it.
Tuning it, you do find a voice. It's different than last time.
Okay.
It's almost it's almost completely inaudible. It's quiet, it's groaning, moaning, and it is clearly a voice through your doctor's expertise that is in a lot of pain. It moans and it groans for a little bit until it goes silent, white noise, and you have to find it again. You can't really tell any words.
Yep, it just try again too. Is it any clearer the second time around?
Nope.
All right.
You can-
I don't check for a third time.
Okay. Thomas, well, you'll see this when they're done with their thing, but I'll let you know what you see. There is a figure that just darted. You caught it barely. Seemed to have moved at the end of the hallway, like rounding a corner.
Is it the clock guy?
Oh, I don't want any. Okay.
He doesn't
So
know.
when you're
One
He
success.
doesn't. Okay.
when one of you like comes to the door when you're done with your thing, it's like, I don't really mean to be a bother, but I did see someone run round the hallway.
I'm gonna run out to
Don't
look.
get his attention. He's probably one of the ghosts.
No. As Deborah goes to run out, I'm actually gonna try to attempt to grab her by the arm.
But it could be that guy that we were
Yeah.
trying to follow
And
anyway.
he's the one who whammied Moose.
Yeah, can we not follow him that close, perhaps?
Send Moose.
So say
No,
Moose, if you tell him to go chase, see, he'd be like,
no. If we meet up with him, we'll deal him, but we'll do it together this time.
I would like to avoid all forms of ghosts and ghouls.
You know, I tried to hit the guy before, but it didn't work. He and went through him.
Yeah.
Like when Deborah said that I stepped on the guy, but I didn't step on the guy. It was like
But
that.
it seems like I'm able to interact with things.
All right. So Deborah.
I punched the flaming guy. I just couldn't punch the watch guy.
So I say we head to the roof. Deborah, you seem to have the keenest eyes of all of us. Just keep a weathered one, while we make our way up.
So you're the four of you are going down the hall. Is that my interpretation
Yes,
correct?
we're gonna head towards
Stay
whatever's
grouped.
the stairwell that leads towards the roof.
Okay, cool.
Is that the way the guy ran? Figure?
He bolted around the corner that was to a stairwell that you would assume would lead to the roof.
Ooh. I don't know.
So the four of you will slowly make your way down that way. How long? You guys have been up here for a while. Can I know what all of your individual stamina plus resolves totals are?
No.
I have 1 stamina and my resolve is 1.
Okay, so 2 for you.
I have 2 stamina, 3 resolve,
So just give me the total number.
5.
5,
6.
4, 5, 6,
4.
4. Maggie's gonna be the first one. It happens before you even leave the apartment. Maggie, that hunger that you kind of been pushing aside and ignoring for the most part, because you've been so enthralled searching these apartments, is much more intense now. In fact, you're gonna start suffering from starvation effect when we come back from break.
Holy shit! Is
I'm
there
like,
a time?
one day I'm not eating? We were
Obviously-
just drinking like
Yeah,
an
we
hour.
were just having enough, but she
supernaturally.
left to get snacks, so we didn't have snacks at the poker. It's very important.
Oh, Deborah ate snacks before.
No, Deborah even knows, and Maggie, you know, as obviously, I'll clarify. You weren't hungry when you came to this floor. You were hungry shortly after you started exploring,
Yeah.
and that hunger ramped up.
This
Out
is,
of
this,
nowhere.
this is a ghost hunger, if you will.
I think
Oh
I
yeah,
ate
she's
something.
gonna try to ignore it.
This is a spook hunger.
I
Hunger.
thought there was food in my belly. All right, we'll go to break. See y'all in a few
Yes.
minutes.
We'll be back.
I'm gonna go eat something.
All right.
Nika, hi. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to hour 2, which could be the final hour. Who knows?
possible. Maggie, you suffer 1 bashing damage.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What?
What?
Her hunger, her stomach churns so hard it bashes her insides.
Oh
You're
my
gonna
gosh.
start taking bass in the way it's gonna work.
Wait, so I take 1 health?
Yes, 1 bashing health, 1
How
slash.
do I get rid
Not
of
an
that?
X, just a slash.
Just a slash.
Yeah. And then
All right.
every X number of rounds or minutes in game, you will start suffering bashing damage until you pass out or die.
Great.
So basically, you're so hungry.
I
it
love
hurts.
taking damage for something I have no clue what it is.
You're so hungry, it hurts.
All right. So how do you represent this extreme hunger you're feeling?
You all feel very hungry as well.
You just see like
Our stomachs are punching us though.
so
You're next, Dave. Don't worry.
so we're walking out the door, right? That's what we're doing.
Yeah, you're all like getting ready to leave the
So
apartment.
as we're walking out the door, she like kind of grabs the side of like like a door frame and just like has her hand on her stomach for a second and pauses.
Whoa,
and then,
Deborah, you
follows
pregnant?
guys.
Moose, that is absolutely. How have you ever interacted with a woman before? Let alone a lady like Deborah.
All right, no, I'm like Deborah. What's wrong?
I don't know. My stomach hurts real bad.
I
I don't know if it's some hunger or what it is, but I don't
Yeah.
feel good.
Yeah, I've actually been really hungry too. I didn't want to say anything, but I've been actually starving. It feels like I haven't eaten in days.
I didn't want to admit it either. I thought it's just that I had drank too much.
I could go for a burger.
All right, my
Yeah,
character's
you're the least hungry out of all of them, Scott.
my eyes go a little wide and like, well, it's pretty typical for this place, for this place to have an effect on us. We have to get out. We have to get to the roof as fast as possible.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm not complaining.
So okay, go ahead, Moose. What
I
are
was
you-
I was just affirming. There was a group hands
Okay.
in. Sorry.
Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, team.
Team ghosts.
But Moose has to be the hand on top. That's
He
just-
has to be.
All right, so the 4 of you then is to basically sprint down the hallway and go left where Thomas saw the figure go. Correct? Cool. So you guys rush out that way as fast as you can. Do you go back for the body or do you leave the body there?
It'll slow us down.
I think Deborah would mention the body.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna mention the body, so I'd be like, I'm gonna be like, it's like Moose. This is the last time I'll ask you. Once he's on the roof, he's on his own. Please. Will you
I don't
take-
know if that's
will you take
true.
him with us? Well, I don't know where we're gonna go from there. So
Maybe there's a ladder we can climb down or something.
How
Yeah,
many floors do we get on the roof?
one, we're on the highest floor.
What if we can't get on the roof? You
I
know
thought-
how before we weren't able to go up.
I
We'll
thought there
be
were
able
6
to get
floors
over
on this building.
7.
We're on 7.
Well, there's 7 floors. I say as I'm like picking up the body.
Oh, do all 4 of you go
We're
to
on
the
the
body or
7th
just
floor.
one?
I think we would all keep together, right? At this
Yeah,
point.
I stand outside the apartment, let Moose go over to the body to grab it, and then like wait for him to come back, and then we'll
Sure,
head out
sure.
together.
So when you get to where the body should be is the key word. The body is not there.
So when I see that, I'm like, whatever, let's go.
This is why I keep saying we can't leave anyone alone. They just go disappearing. First Janice, now this fellow.
I just kind of like, my character is just like cursing himself, like I'm an idiot.
Cool. Maggie, you take another bashing. Dave, you take 1 bashing.
Yep, here we go.
She puts her hand on her stomach again. Oh, well, I think we really need to get out of here.
That's really fast.
It's very fast.
You can't waste time.
Weird, almost like you were not hungry and then immediately hungry and now starving to death. Very quick.
That's really fast.
So you wheel around the corner, down to the other end.
Yeah,
of the
that's not the weirdest thing
To
I've
the
seen. It's not like I saw blood pouring out of somebody going up into the ceiling.
Yeah, I like how that's the weird thing is the hunger to Moose. Moose is like, I've never been this hungry in my
Well,
life.
it's
I'm just doing the blood thing.
we're being desensitized.
It's true.
True.
So you approach. As you turn the corner, the stairs that should lead to the roof would be right there. but you're seeing stairs. Let me be specific. But the stairs that you're seeing are not the stairs you would expect to see that would lead to a roof, like a door with like metallic stairs that lead up. Instead, the four of you see ornate, gorgeous stairs with a flowery carved wooden handle that leads up. And the stairs themselves each have like their own individual little like carpet that you would step on. And they seem to be going up in a twisted circular fashion.
Yep.
I'll go first.
Yep.
I imagine Constantine just sees it and he just goes,
Now that we've seen these
Yep.
stairs, does anything hit my memory from
Not
the
yet.
look of this?
not yet.
There we go.
I'm trying, guys.
I do like how like I don't know if Constantine
Any little
did it.
bit of information I get, I'm like, does it get my memory going? Okay.
I know you're desperate, but I love the image of Constantine just being like, yep. So Moose first up the stairs and closely followed by the three of you. As you walk up the stairs, Moose, this thing goes on for what feels like floors, 2, 3, 4 floors. And the walls themselves are very gorgeous wallpaper. That's
Are there any paintings?
no
or
paintings,
photos?
but it's like it's not that you see. I'll get to that in a second. But for Moose, you see like gorgeous green wallpaper with colorful red and blue flowers, and again, as clean as the 7th floor was. And the handle. This is almost, it's too beautiful for this place. Ollie, Thomas sees photos every so often. He'll see a photo, he'll see another photo, and as you walk by them, you don't really recognize anything in them. Sometimes they're just a picture of a cityscape. Sometimes they're a picture of people that you don't really recognize. They're all photos. They're not paintings. They are pictures within frames. And you're welcome to make me a memory check as you've seen a few of these pictures.
What's that? The intelligence.
Intelligence
component?
plus. It was intelligence plus resolve. I think we were doing.
That's even better. Nope.
Okay. They don't look familiar to you, but you see them.
I
And-
would say is like you see these, right?
No, the three of you do not.
Okay.
See what? What are you asking us?
Oh, it's just that we're on an ancient haunted stairwell with
Oh, I see that.
modern photographs on the walls.
You see photographs on the wall. Well, what are on them?
A little bit of everything.
What do you mean by that?
My character
You need
looking.
to be descriptive.
Sorry.
He just that one's a cityscape, maybe New York, an old couple. a
Stop.
field,
Old couple. What do they look like?
blurry.
Blurry.
I'm not sure if it's me or the photograph.
Can you tell what color hair they have? Anything?
It's black and white.
It's, no.
Oh, wait. Everything's black and white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am a photographer, so if anyone could figure that out, it'd be
You
me.
can tell if it's dark hair or light hair.
Yeah.
But you don't recognize these people.
Hmm.
Well,
And as
I
he
am
describes
worried.
them, Maggie, your character doesn't sound familiar to you.
Okay.
I am worried that maybe this place is getting inside our heads, and I'm seeing photographs because I want to see photographs. That sounds like something I would read in one of your novels, right?
Yes.
That makes sense. I mean,
Well,
not make sense, but makes sense.
my character says kind of like in this exhausted tone, just because I'm starving to death apparently. And as we're climbing these stairs, it's like if I had to give a name to this, it would be Jacob's Ladder, which was, and that person, that man with that man with the stopwatch, he must be Esau, if we're having such force bringing us up here.
I'm tired of your weird religious stories, Constantine.
You come from a Christian country. You definitely know what this is in the 1950s.
There's a reason why.
Oh, yeah. That's why I made like the God bless you type of thing to the guy that died.
You have a Church of England.
If you notice,
Eventually-
Thomas moved away.
Well, my character, when you have that and I say Jacob's Ladder was a dream about where Jacob ran from his brother in desperation in a dream sequence, as I kind of gesture around us up a fanciful ladder which
Are
It
you
was-
thinking that this is some kind of test from God?
Oh man, that would have made me pay attention in 5th grade.
I'm saying we're definitely we're dealing with life and death here.
I love your character, and I hate
We're,
your
we're dealing with life and death, which is specifically the domain of God. So
Well, let's
don't-
hope we end up on the left side of this.
yeah, well, we're heading up, for what it's worth.
Thomas drains the last of his
Can you see
flasks.
how many stairs are left up there?
It's
'Cause
almost
my stomach hurts
serendipitous
really
as you say that, as those words escape your lips. Moose does see a very ornate door at the top of the stairwell. Closed.
Someone, Anika said, wow, Moose actually went to 5th grade.
That's true.
I said, yeah, 2 or 3 times.
Oh, that's so good.
The stairwell is not. It is just as ornate as the rest of it, but there's no window or anything that you can see through.
So I'm gonna gesture to the door, seeing if they can see it as well, because I'm trying to make sure I'm not crazy.
They do.
Okay. So if they like nod or like yeah, I'm gonna go up to the door and immediately I'll reach for the handle to open it, but then I'll like stop for a second and think like, I'll knock on it.
Okay. Wits plus wits plus composure after you knock, please.
Just knocking on heaven's door.
knock,
knock, knock.
knocking.
Knocking on heaven's
Heaven's
door.
door.
Hey, 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 hey.
Oh, wait.
hey.
Was there a frog?
Do you think that's wise, knocking on the door? I mean, what if there's someone on the other side?
The
Oh,
creatures
so
around this
That
place
was
have not been
the
polite.
idea.
Well, like what Thomas said, things have not been so kind to us.
Oh, I thought that's better than sneaking up on it and then it gets mad at me.
Sneaking up on
It's
us,
fine.
our opportunity.
It's fine. Does anyone think happen when knocks on the door?
You hear a minor groan on the other side.
Someone's
Oh,
there.
for fuck's sake.
I give Moose that same look as I pull out my gun, though I look a little bit weaker than usual, but I hold
I've
it
had
up.
my gun out the whole time.
She likes it now.
Her finger has never left the trigger. Just don't stand in front of her.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll do the same thing as before. Where like I push the door open and kind of like just get out of the way so he can. Like,
yeah. So and I look through and I point my gun.
Any of you have any points in occult?
No.
No.
Okay. So
So,
the site before
I would
you-
totally put points in occult instead of like some of this other crap.
the site before you is alien to all 4 of you. What you see is a rather large circular room, ornate in symbols and furniture that what it represents is unclear to you. Being from the 1950s, fucking maybe it's Satan, maybe it's satanic in some way. But as you step through, or you look through, even if you don't step through, on the back there is a man clutching his stomach, breathing heavily, slumped up against the wall, and before him is a gigantic circle painted around him that meets up with the wall, and there's lines running through it, and around the edges are like flowers and some sort of dust. On the walls themselves, there's symbols painted in paint or blood. You're not sure which. Cards lay on the floor before you. Playing cards lay on the floor before you. A carton of cigarettes has been torn open and cigarettes laid out next to those cards themselves. Matches sit next to that, taken out of the matchbox and laid out. Some of them burnt, some of them not. And then next to that, a stethoscope lays out next to those 3 things, and other things that look familiar, but still not necessarily yours. And this gentleman in very, very nice clothing, clean shaven, young, maybe in his 30s, is just shallow breaths as he's leaning
Have
up against
any
the
of us
wall.
seen him before?
He does not look familiar to any of you.
All right. Well, without even thinking, I just shove. I give my gun to Moose, and I just say, "Cover me" as I run into the room.
Okay. What does
I'm
Moose
gonna
do?
ask
Does he just
fast.
grab it and just aim it?
I just shove it into Moose's chest as I'm gonna run up to the man.
I mean,
Okay.
I will. Moose actually is trained with a firearm, just not as good as he is. I only have 1 point in it and 1 point in Dex, so I'm not anywhere near as good. But I will do exactly that.
Okay.
Like a guy that used to shoot squirrels, you know.
Constantine, you run up to this man, and I assume just immediately start doing medical checks. So feel free to make your first medical check.
All right, give me 1 second.
Oh no, he's like
What
Hippocratic
happened
oath.
here to you, sir?
Let's see what the medical checks first before.
All right. I'm gonna willpower this. Just 'cause
Yeah.
we're coming towards the end of the session.
You might as well.
Okay.
Okay. As you run up to him and quickly, like maybe like check his eyes, pry his eyes open, and look over his wounds. He has one wound, and the wound is a gunshot wound in his stomach. And he clearly, listening and feeling, just checking him over, his stomach and his lungs are probably filled with blood. He is slowly suffocating to death on his own internal bleeding. And he looks up, and as his eyes lock with yours, they widen a little bit, not with fear, but with recognition, maybe hope. And then Deborah says, "What happened to you, sir?" And he looks past you now, Constantine, to the three that sit behind him. And those eyes that were definitely of recognition are now definitely of hope, as there is a small smile that kind of crawls across his face. And he just kind of lets his head hang a little bit after he sees the four of you. He's like, "You're still alive? Good. It's not over yet then."
What do you mean?
I fucked up. I messed up. But
What did you mess up?
I don't expect the four of you to understand. And as you all enter the room, you do feel that murkiness, that muted feeling of being in the hallway before gone. The hunger gone. The thirst gone.
Do you still have the damage?
The damage is still there.
Oh.
Do I shoot him?
Maybe no, don't shoot him. She grabs his arm.
Yeah. Good.
Maybe could try at least if you explain.
He looks to you, Constantine, and he's like, "What's your name?"
Says, "My name is Constantine Leone. Did you bring us here?"
He nods and he's like, "And I messed up worse than I imagined." And he starts coughing.
I say it's like just calm down. Just calm down. You'll be able to tell us a lot better if you're not coughing up blood. And I'm gonna using what I can. I'm gonna try to do first aid to try to stabilize him.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And again, I'm gonna spend another willpower. This time with using also my first aid power.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to roll again. Boom.
You stabilize him well. You kind of basically tell him to hush up, and you press against the wound, and with whatever bandages you have and tools at your disposal you do everything in your power to stabilize him at least long enough where he can still converse with you. He's still going to be pained and short of breath, but he is stable for now. He lets you do the work for however long it takes before he looks up again, still sitting up against the wall, still clutching at his wound.
All right. I look around and I just say, "All right, start from the beginning."
I was hired. Restless spirits here. Hired to rid them. I was too confident. I'm still too young. Too inexperienced. I trapped myself.
Oh, you're an existentialist.
Exorcist. I correct him, but I don't. But I don't push the issue. I don't push the title.
Restless spirits of the ones who lived here before. But I messed up. I underestimated them and their anger and their hatred for what happened. And I trapped myself here. And I trapped them here. And I trapped you here.
Well, how do we get out of here?
He gestures kind of weakly at the objects laid out. The matches, the stethoscope, the cigarettes.
What do those have to do with
and
anything?
all that. And he's like, there was also a pocket watch. You need the pocket watch.
I saw the pocket watch. It was on that fellow, the one that was going
The
fast.
bastard that shot me, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
he uses the watch to wind time?
No, not like that.
Who is he?
His body doesn't matter. It's who has control of it that matters. Josiah Barnes.
Josiah Barnes, the man who died.
He used to live here. He owned it. Well,
He
the manor
gestures-
that was here before.
He nods and gestures to Deborah like, yeah, you're right. But you say you're Constantine.
I'm gonna look at him. I'm just gonna look at him straight in the eyes. And like, are we dead?
The bodies you inhabit are not. You believe you're somebody that you're not.
What does that mean?
What do you mean by
this?
that?
I don't get it.
He's gasps for breath as you all kind of shout out.
It doesn't matter.
I
We
don't
need to
shout.
get out of here.
Yeah. Well, the frickin' the peanut gallery shouts out.
Fair, you don't shout at the wounded.
It's
Mike.
the British way.
It's my doctor professional opinion. It's my PhD says don't shout at the wounded.
It's hard to explain those who don't understand. And you are all confused, trapped, in more ways than one. Trapped.
Usually, yeah.
None of you are who you think you are, at least not completely. Constantine, you're not. Fuck, how do I explain this? And he like looks around confused at his own. It is around his own room. He actually looks around and then eventually gestures like, the mirror on the wall. Look at it. See yourself for yourself, not for who you think you are. And he kind of holds his hand up, and with one hand he makes a few quick gestures and mutters, and it's something that in a language you don't understand. Nothing seems to happen, but then he tells you like, please, like, look, see for yourself.
I stand up and go to a mirror. Apparently.
Yep, a mirror just hanging on the wall.
Okay.
You're not sure it was there before, but it is now. And as you walk up and you look and gaze into it, you still see what you're familiar with. You see Constantine, the doctor. But the longer you stare, the longer a face that you also recognize, kind of semi-translucent, appears in front of it. A face that you know as your own, but one whose memories almost come flooding back and mixing with those of Constantine's, and then separating and almost disappearing again. But that face sits there.
So as I kind of look at my name, like being strangely calm about it, I just turn to him and I just say, what is my name?
He shakes his head. I'm not even sure.
Do you know when I was born?
It doesn't matter when you were born or who you are, even, Constantine, if that's even who you are. What matters is how we're going to get out of here. And if we need this stopwatch, how are we going to get it from that fellow? Last time Moose tried to attack him, he consumed his soul or something.
No, Debbie, maybe I'm a little confused, but it sounds like what this guy did made us alive, because before we weren't, and if we help him, we die again. So if we let him die, we could live and maybe leave.
I don't think that's how it works, Moose.
He holds up his hand. There is a way that is possible,
Ha! Ha! Ha!
but it would require a lot of effort that it would be difficult in my states to do that. Nor would it be fair of me to do that to the body that you inhabit without their permission. My guess is that if you're here, you're from that time the building burned.
That building burnt in the 30s, though.
Then you're probably from then. My intent was not to summon all of those people, just the two that have been causing people here problems.
Well, you summoned a whole bunch of us.
Well, wait, two.
Not everyone is...
Two.
Yeah, Josiah Barnes and his wife.
Where's his wife? We've only seen one man.
She's not as angry as him. She's more sad, depressed.
Maybe she can help us. Where is she?
I've not run across her.
Fantastic.
All I know is Josiah.
Like I said, none of this matters. If we need the stopwatch, how are we gonna get it from him?
He's probably on the roof. If he's not, I assume you came from the 5th and 6th floors. Was he not there?
It came from the 7th floor.
Well, eventually.
You're on the 7th floor.
I
Wait.
thought we came from the 7th floor.
We saw a
Yep.
room that purported to be the 7th floor. Was that
No.
not it?
No, you believe it was on the 7th floor, and you believe
Okay.
you walked up many flights of stairs to get to this room. But
Well, how do we get on the roof then? Because we came from the 7th floor to get here.
he gestures to his left, and it wasn't there before, but it's definitely there now. A door.
How does this work? Why can we only see things sometimes?
It's more complicated than I have the time to explain.
What's waiting for us on the roof?
My guess would be Josiah.
How are we
So-
gonna take care of him?
We're gonna
Last
knock
time,
his block off.
Moose, you couldn't even knock his blockers off last time.
Yeah, but last time it was
You
in a
almost
room where he
killed
had
Thomas.
powers.
You knocked my block off.
But
You
this
almost
time
killed
we're
me.
on the roof. Things get weird. Look, we're on the roof and we're not on the roof. Things are weird. Upstairs it'd work.
Well, I'll look to this man. It's like, oh, what is your name?
My name is James.
I said James.
Oh no,
If-
James.
If we can incapacitate him, is that enough?
The pocket watch anchors him to this world. You need to remove or get hold of it and bring it to me.
All right.
And undo that.
Will bullets or fists have any effect on him?
On the body that he has, yes. On his spirit, no.
How do we stop him from it inhabiting the others?
You break enough
Last-
bodies, you break a spirit.
He-
Last time, it didn't go so well, and Moose became him or something?
He nods. Josiah has had years, decades, to marinate in his own hatred and anger, and it fuels him. It strengthens him. There's no guarantee that he won't be able to do it again. I just hope that you can manage. But I warn you, and I tell you now, because it is only fair. If you succeed, and I am able to free his spirit, the 4 of you will be freed as well, and let go from this realm and back to where you belong.
Yeah, that one sounds bad.
Yeah. Well, the alternative is staying here.
The alternative is this guy freeing us. I don't give a. I am who I am, thank you very much, and I've lived a hard enough life to do it.
If it makes you feel better, the memories and who you believe you are will continue to move, but they will have no memory of the things that happened here.
Well, I think this lady's a good lady, and I'd like her to live a long life.
I kind of don't want to die.
He shakes his head.
Am I crazy?
I'm with Moose. I can't believe I'm saying it out loud.
Hey! He'll actually give like a light punch to your shoulder. Probably hurts.
Maybe you're misunderstanding. You're already dead.
Maybe you're misunderstanding. We want to be alive.
It's not gonna work like that, I'm sorry. That's not the parameters of the magic that I've cast.
Oh, now it's magic. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, now it's magic. It was ghosts, now it's magic.
It's been magic and ghosts.
Now you're saying there's parameters?
Of course,
What does that
there are
involve?
parameters. I just fucked them up. I fucked it up. I'm
Whoa,
too young and inexperienced.
What did you do, and what are these parameters?
The goal was to bring Josiah and his wife here and free them from their torment. But I fucking brought almost apparently every spirit that died here and locked them here.
Oh, just what book did you learn this? We'll read it and we'll do it.
He actually like
I'll look to him. It's like, why everyone we run into is insane. Why are we sapient? Like, why are we keeping our wits about us?
there's something about how you died or why you died that brings you more clarity. Maybe more like Josiah. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's hatred. Maybe it's sadness that you didn't get to live the rest of your life. I don't know who you were. The only way to do so is to gaze into that mirror and find out.
Maybe it's God.
Then why would we?
He
Really?
laughs. He coughs. Mortals' beliefs in those more powerful than them in some afterlife.
Yeah, well, maybe if you believed, you would have brought this hell upon yourself.
I believed. I just believed I was more educated than I am.
Well, clearly you were not.
Clearly. It doesn't matter what happened. What matters is what can happen from here on out. I put it this way. If you don't free him, you're going to be trapped in this apartment with him for as long as...
All I know is I'm here for good, and I want to help all the souls in here get out of here. And that's what I told you from the beginning, Constantine. I knew it was something like this. She goes to the door with the stairway. Are you either coming with me or you're not?
All right, I'm gonna look to Moose and like I hold out my hand for my gun back.
Well, Deborah, you're here for good, but I mean, I want to be here for good.
I'm gonna look at Moose and just I was like, Moose, do you understand
The
everything that's
right
happening?
thing to do, and you know it, deep down in your soul, is to help these people get out of here. And if it is getting that damn stopwatch, then that is what we need to do.
Ooh.
But what about us?
Then
There
look into
is
the
no-
mirror, Moose. Find out
If
who
you
you
want to know who you are, go ahead and look into that stupid mirror.
I hope
But I don't care who I am. I know what needs to happen here, and I know what's right.
Mike, please make him like a 6-year-old girl.
No, he's he's not gonna look in the mirror. Moose is too stupid to want to see that stuff, right? He's like, but what about like that I die again?
It's hard to explain, but... No, go ahead.
I'll
No,
just
go
say-
ahead.
I'll just say, dying again, living again. In all of my education, I can barely wrap my brain around it. I'm actually surprised at you, Moose, that you'd be so slow to action. I say we just do.
I'm with Deborah. The right thing. Help the people. I get that. But what about me? I'm people.
When faced with your own morality, it is fair to get afraid. Those
But
who
this will help you.
with their own mortality.
Moose, you said you wanted to live, and if you believe you're Moose, then this will help. This will help Moose. This will help you in the long run.
But
No free
he's saying I might
spirits
not
here.
be Moose, and if I'm not Moose, then fuck Moose.
Then
I
you're
wanna
just
live.
one of these spirits that are living here in this horrible place, and you're gonna free yourself, which will be a better life than what's here. And Thomas, I'm surprised in you. I've known you for years. I thought you'd be better than this. I'm going up the stairs. Either you come with me or not. And she just turns around and walks up the stairs.
Deborah, no. Oh, fuck. And I follow her.
I once again I hold my hand out for my gun back for Moose.
Looking back at them and then looking at him and looking at them, just like,
I want Moose just to be the last one and look in the mirror.
nah, he's
I'm,
just gonna, like,
I'm literally surprised. The only one who looked in the mirror so far is Constantine, but
Yeah.
not long enough to...
Thomas does not want it.
So the running theme this entire game so far, Moose hasn't been afraid of really anything.
I know.
He's fucking petrified to look in the mirror because
know.
he's afraid of knowing. Like ignorance is bliss, right? So he looks back and forth like 3 times or whatever. Eventually, he just kind of like puts the gun to Constantine's chest, coincidentally the same way that it was given to him. And then he kind of starts lumbering out slowly at first, but when he sees like the gap of space between him and the other two, he'll start jogging to catch up. But it's like slow at first, and then he doesn't say a word when he catches up if they say anything to him.
So being the last one there, I'll kind of like take the gun, check it, do a show of like checking a second as I look at the mage James,
Mm-hmm.
and I just say, you say that it's foolish to believe. However, it only looks seeing how things turned out with the things you believe, I can't imagine your faith is any less foolish.
He nods. Perception is a powerful tool. Maybe you're right.
All
For
right.
what it's
Well,
worth, though, I am truly sorry.
well, I say some like technical things, like technical medical things. So I'm saying like, well, you've ripped up this, and blah blah blah. It's like, so you probably shouldn't sit on your left side, and you like get in that position, stay in it, close your eyes, take deep breaths, and
He does so.
try not to walk towards the light.
As he follows orders, he does kind of openly muse like, I am curious if your expertise stems from your mortal self or the one I locked in it.
Yeah, well, it's like I wonder if your sass comes from your heathen beliefs, or your or just because you were raised by bad parents. As I walk away.
And you walk up the stairs.
Did you just insult him and then walk away?
Oh, he salted his family, his beliefs, his parents.
Hey,
Jesus.
he dragged me across like dimensions into this freaking ghost world. Screw him.
That's a valid way to feel.
Hey, absolutely. Any hatred towards this guy.
I just saved his life. So.
You did. You absolutely did. So, the four of you then eventually make your way up the stairs. These stairs are the stairs you expected from before. The stairs that are like metallic and a plain wall and clearly like, service stairs that lead up to the roof of the building. The four of you, who's the first one out? Deborah?
Probably Deborah.
Deborah, do you just burst out without even waiting for the other three? Do you not care?
Yeah, she's not like going at a super crazy fast pace. Like,
Right, of course.
she realizes she's alone for a little while.
Yeah.
And is walking with the gun very cautiously.
So you eventually get outside. And right behind you will be Thomas, and even right behind that, Moose said he picked up his pace when he realized there was a gap.
As soon as she realizes Thomas is behind her, she kind
And
of
shortly, even behind him is Moose. You can see him come up the stairs.
she turns and kind of smiles at Thomas. But she's still being quiet because she doesn't know what's that way.
Okay. You open the door, and you step on a rather plain-looking roof with a couple of chairs on it, nothing more. But at the end, still the stark void of nothingness beyond this building. At the edge of this roof, a man is standing, and he is gazing out into the void.
Do I
He
see the
doesn't-
stopwatch on him?
You see it very clearly dangling from him.
I wish I had my camera.
I'm going to yell out to him then. And I don't know if I can like use intimidation or persuasion or any of those things.
What are you looking to do? What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna persuade. I would like to. Well, I'll just say what I'm gonna say, and then I guess we'll see if it works
Okay.
or not.
Sure.
She looks out at him, or should I roll and then see?
Well,
that-
what do you? It depends on what you're
like,
trying to do.
I feel like it sucks when you make an epic speech and then you roll and you're like, oh well, I guess I didn't make that epic speech.
Well, you can make the epic speech, and then Mike might give you bonuses about it
true.
with how epic it is.
And you
All
have
right.
willpower as well to spend if you want to even boost it more.
All right, I'm gonna hold the gun out that I have,
Mhm.
and he's on the edge. You said.
He's not like teetering on the edge. He's just at the end of the roof, at the edge of the roof, just kind of staring off.
Okay. Josiah, I know it's you in there. Come over here. Let's talk like civil people. What you're doing to these people is not right, and you know it. No matter how angry you are, there's got to be another way to solve this. And maybe we can figure that out together.
It's that sounds persuasion-y, less intimidating-y. I would say manipulation plus persuasion.
Okay. And can I add my specialization, persuasion, sweet talk, to it?
Absolutely, yeah, that is definitely a sweet talk. You're definitely trying to sweet talk him. Go for it.
Just to check, Mike, there isn't by chance rocket launchers on the roof somewhere.
No, and he doesn't look like he's like morphing into.
It
some...
won't let me add manipulation and persuasion together.
Are you sure
Oh,
you haven't
it's
clicked
because it keeps
something
trying to
off?
grab wits for some reason.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just unclick wits.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know why I kept grabbing that. Okay. And then I get a +1. And we'll see how this goes.
2 successes.
2 successes. Really? Not
I
enough.
know that's a 9 dice pool biting.
Yeah,
you.
it's like the biggest dice pool I have. Like, what? Oh, I forgot to add the willpower.
Yeah, so just roll.
That would be
more.
3
That
more.
good.
We just
I haven't
roll
done
three.
anything yet, so just 3 more dice on top of it, and I can take a look at what your
And that's just 3d6, right? Yeah,
3d10.
3d10. Okay.
Mhm.
3d10.
3d6, and I got no successes. Whoa!
Oh,
Roll-
2 more. That's
So
good.
roll. So you know
4.
you roll the 2d10 now. 10 again.
Yep, 10 again. Just roll 2d10.
Oh.
Yeah.
2
It
more?
automatically does it on normal rolls, but yeah, 10s you re-roll a second time.
2 more?
Yep,
Yep.
because you got 2 10s, so you roll 2 more d10.
If you
That's
get
pretty
one
sick.
more, it's an epic.
Roll
Get
it
to
another one. Yeah.
Oh,
What
wow.
is
Another
happening?
one.
What?
What
Yes!
is this?
You're
Are
doing
you
it.
gonna passive? Are you
Alright.
gonna do a pacifist run of the final boss right here?
Yeah, 2.
All right.
3,
so
4,
that,
5.
he won't act as I initially planned on him acting.
She's gonna fall out the shit out of this.
It's very possible.
The
So you
only
say-
thing she's good at is talking to people, and I haven't been able to do that.
So you basically you propose him a deal like let's talk instead of fight.
She's proposing a deal, but it's like subterfuge proposing a
Right,
deal.
of course.
Yeah.
So what you see,
Because I don't really want to make a deal with this guy. He's clearly not a good person.
so you speak and like come over here, like maybe we can talk this out. And you hear a voice, and it's clearly states, "And what do you have to offer me that I can't already get?" As an image before again, he's facing away from you, and behind him facing you, floating a few like a foot off the ground, is the ghostly image of Josiah Barnes.
That's so
Who,
sick.
while he is very recognizable as Josiah Barnes, his clothing is burnt and tattered, and he looks to be rather injured and in pain. And a face of pure anger and hatred sprawled across.
What is it that you want? Revenge?
I want what is mine.
Well, what is it that's yours?
This place is mine.
Well, if you let the others go, you can have it. You can have it all to yourself. I don't think anyone else wants it.
I didn't trap you here. I can't let you go. That's not my place.
I know you didn't trap me here.
So I can't free you.
But see, that's where you're wrong.
Enlighten me one then, woman.
Make me a deal. I'll enlighten you. You give me that stopwatch on you.
No. What did that little wizard downstairs tell you?
Doesn't matter what he told me.
Does it have something to do with the stopwatch? Did he tell you stopwatch would fix everything?
I don't think it'll fix everything.
No, it won't. See, if you want to be freed, maybe you should talk to the wizard downstairs. He trapped you here. What are you calling yourself now, anyway? What's your name?
I don't need to share that with you.
No.
That's Deborah. That's Constantine. That's Thomas. I'm Moose.
Deborah, Constantine, Thomas, and
You.
Oh, am I there? Am I there?
Oh, you're
now?
all out on the roof now. Yeah, you're
okay.
coming
I
up.
like
Let's
actually
say,
genuinely push him.
let's say you, Constantine, because you took some time to talk to him and give him directions. You're coming up as Moose is like, that's Thomas and Deborah, and I'm Moose, and that's Constantine as he walks up.
I just keep smacking. Was like, we're dealing with a magic ghost. Shut your mouth.
And Josiah kind of chuckles a bit. So he fucked that up too, huh? Deborah, Moose. What fucking name is that? Constantine.
We know that we're not who we are.
Oh, then he gave you that much information. Good. Maybe he's trying to make amends for his
So
colossal fuck up.
I'll speak up. Like so, Jebediah is that his name?
Josiah.
Josiah. Sorry, excuse me. Josiah. What is your side of the story then?
My past is a complicated and annoying one, but this place was taken from me and burned to the ground with me and many people in it, including the 4 of you.
Tell us something we don't know.
Sure, your name is Lisa.
That's not what I asked.
Oh,
He's asking for your side of the story. We want to hear your side of the story, not ours, not someone else's.
The building was taken from me, burned to the ground by a thug with people in it. It was removed from my property because I refused to make a deal to sell it.
Who's
So
this thug?
The thug, he makes a nod, is whoever the fuck is inhabiting Moose.
I'll kind of like glance at Moose.
Huh?
It's like he took. I'm like
You sound like, I'm sorry, because you're stuttering. You sound like you're speaking another language. You're just like,
and he burned down the building when you wouldn't give it to him.
I don't imagine it was. No. He wasn't the one that wanted the building. He just worked for those who did.
Who's
Wait.
the one who wanted the building?
I don't want the
Who's
building.
the one who hired him to burn down the building?
Doesn't matter. He's not here.
It does matter. Maybe we can avenge you.
Those who proposed to buy the building were criminals, and I didn't want to give it to them. And criminals do what criminals do. They take what they want anyway. So because I wouldn't give it to them legally for whatever chump change they wanted to hand it to me, they burned it down, killed me along with it, and then bought the land after it was cleared.
That's pretty
So it's the
smart.
people who own the land now.
It's possible.
So Josiah, what do you want?
Revenge. I want them all fucking dead.
Well, they're not here, according to what you said. So
That's correct, they aren't. But my power grows. And I can get to them at some point.
We're in the middle of blackness. We're not in New York City anymore.
And your power doesn't even extend down 3 floors. How long have you been here?
See, that's the wizard's fault, not mine. But the magical thing about being dead already is that you can't die again. So let the building get engulfed again in flames, and let's die 1,000 times over until I figure the fuck out how to get out of here. I don't care.
Well, why don't we do something else? Why don't you give me that stopwatch? Send me back. I'll get your story told. Deborah's an investigator. She tells stories through journalism. If she tells the story of what happened here, she can avenge you. Get the people who
Deborah's-
own this place put in jail.
Deborah's a hobbyist journalist. See,
Doesn't
Lisa,
matter.
You're...
She has 2 fame. Not a hobbyist.
Yes, she has 2 fame. But the reason she has 2 fame is because the person inside, Lisa, you were the one. You were here interviewing me, wondering why I wouldn't sell it, making a big stink, put the people off from wanting to buy it. It was going to be a big newspaper article, but see, people got word of it, and they want the story getting out. So they waited for you to get here before they struck. Killed you.
Times changed. Things are
Times
different.
did change. Maybe if you look at Thomas a little longer, you'll recognize him as your cameraman.
cameraman.
Photo man, whatever you call people who took pictures for newspaper articles back in the day.
Probably
Yeah, there
a
weren't
very
cameras
old
really.
word.
1950s is when cameras really started becoming a thing.
They
19
still were.
Well, they could like set it up. Put
Yeah,
the
it was a big thing.
It was
Cameras.
Like,
I thought he meant like video cameras. He's
no,
like,
I meant like
no.
picture, like a big like puff pictures for
yeah,
newspapers.
yeah. Okay.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
All right.
And Deborah isn't going to remember any of this. Did the wizard not tell you that either?
Maybe there's a way, is what I'm saying. Maybe there's a way to send one of us back, if just one of us, back with this information.
I don't care. I want the
But you do care. That's exactly what you said you wanted to do. You said that you wanted to make that
Revenge.
happen.
I'd
And
kill
maybe
him.
maybe you've been talking to that wizard too much. Maybe we know something more than he knows.
No.
Maybe we know how to go back with our memories.
Deborah, I'll go
I'm
back.
trying to fake say
Yeah,
that.
no, I know.
I'll-
Moose is getting involved, so I'm like,
I'll kill him. I mean, usually I break legs, but I'll go back. I don't want to forget or not be me. I'll go back. I'll do the good thing. I'll kill these people.
Good, Moose. Because I know a way to make us go back. And
how?
a way to make us go back with our memories.
I'm
just
bluffing
faking.
right now? Okay, cool.
Yes, I'm
So
lying
that
my
is-
ass off and making sure Moose knows that He thinks it's true too.
That is, yeah, as long as Moose believes it. That's a manipulation plus subterfuge roll to lie.
Versus
Oh,
wits
God.
plus
I would say wits plus composure, but
composure.
I'm looking at it right now. Wits plus, I don't know if it'd be empathy. Intimidation, no. Socialize, no. I mean, it might even be wits plus subterfuge yourself. You know what I mean? Like, because to pick up on a lie.
I mean, I can see wits plus
Let's
subterfuge.
see how this goes.
I'm cool with
With
that.
7.
And he has to
2.
make his rolls.
Can I roll with subterfuge or with willpower too?
Yeah, of course. As long as you have a willpower to spend.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, then yeah.
I'm not going to use a willpower, and I'm going to roll. I believe wits plus subterfuge sounds right.
That didn't work.
I'm gonna go with wits plus subterfuge as just a GM. That's what you roll.
So Maggie just got the 2 successes. I'm rolling mine, and I
Maggie
got
two.
with 1 die. I got 1 success.
So
That's 1
you
for
believe
1.
her.
1 for 1. But she wins.
Okay. Does Thomas or Constantine say anything, or are you guys just kind of bystanders?
Well, I have things I want to say, but I obviously they're like in mid conversation right now. So
That's fine. Josiah will continue speaking, looking to Deborah. He's like, "How do you know a way to stick around?"
Like I said, you give me that stopwatch and I'll tell you.
Deborah's smart, so he completely is like, even if this guy tries to turn it, unless he's like really manipulative, what's his name? Moose is all in because Deborah's shown herself as a competent, intelligent, and problem-solving person the entire time. So he's like, hey, yeah, she's smart.
There's going to be a few beats of silence here as he seems to be contemplating. So if Constantine or Thomas wanted to say something, now would be a time if you wanted to. If you just want to wait, you can wait. You don't have to say anything.
If Josiah, like, he seems to be kind of like on the fence, I'll just kind of I'll just be offering kind of quietly. It's like this might be your chance to break the cycle, Josiah. Like, no more revenge, no more anger. We could finally like do something, do something right, do something decent.
No.
Yes, revenge. Yes, anger. But then it ends.
He actually like finger wags. Well, you see the body point backwards and finger wag, and then the ghost speaks, saying, "Moose understands."
Yeah, I get sent back and I kill these son of a bitches, and then you get your revenge and we all win.
All it takes
No
is that
more suffering
stopwatch,
here.
Josiah.
Yeah.
We can make this cycle end.
Yeah, like she said, give the stopwatch and I'll go kill the bitches and the son of a bitches, and it's all over. Just no other people suffering. Just the bastards that took the house from you and yours.
And we'll get the real story told to the world. They'll know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at telling stories, but
He stays silent for a bit, and it takes a few beats. I can't believe you rolled so well. I'm so mad about it.
Yes.
Eventually, what happens is you do see the body kind of, his hand slowly drop to the pocket watch and pull it out of his pocket, and he holds it just off to the side. The body's still not facing you, facing out into the void. And he says one more time, "And you can promise me they will die."
Promise.
Yeah.
I'll stake my life on it.
I mean, and how much is
both
that
of
way?
them.
Yeah, I'll say both of the lives.
I'm not saying that. He doesn't know which life I mean.
Take it then.
I'm going to go take it.
Sure.
Then.
So you walk up. The ghost stays. The spirit of Josiah stays. And as you get within like 2 steps, as you take 2 steps forward, where you would walk past him, he'll wisp away as you reach and
Before I walk forward, you're still holding your gun, Constantine?
Yes.
She's just gonna like grab your arm that has your are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm probably right-handed.
Okay, then your right hand would be next to her. She's just gonna grab your arm and kind of like squeeze it a little bit as she walks forward.
Okay. In other words, like kind of gesture me to come with you?
No. Gesturing you to use your gun if needed, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so when you see that, finger not on the trigger, but I do like raise it in case
Okay.
he tries anything. But like
Defensively in a way.
yeah, defensively.
Sure.
And then I walk forward and grab the thing.
So like I said, as you were about to pass through him, because you would need to, he will wisp away into nothing just as you take your step into him. And you reach forward and you grab the pocket watch. The
She
pocket
confidently, like as
confidently.
confidently as possible, walks forward, but like her heart's like beating like crazy.
As you grab the pocket watch, it is ice cold to the touch, more so than you would have even expected. And the longer you hold it, you realize it's not warming up even in the palm of your hand. It stays ice cold. And in the back of your mind, you can hear him. You're not sure what he's saying, but you recognize the voice. Once you've made contact with that watch, he's there, ever present with you.
Okay. Like in my brain or in like
your head. You can hear him in your head. You're not sure. You assume it has to do with the pocket watch because it happened as soon as you touched it. As you pull the pocket watch and the last of the chain that would be keeping it in the bag kind of falls from the grasp loosely of this person whips around and collapses to his hands and knees and immediately starts sobbing.
I kind of grab the person and pull him towards like away from the edge.
You do so. He'll stumble forward and like fall, but he'll land on his side, incoherently sobbing.
And she doesn't really do well with people's emotions, so she's like patting him on the side and being like, "Are you all right there? What's your name?"
He's alive and he's sobbing, but he's all very unresponsive. He doesn't even seem to be realizing that you're patting him, and he just seems lost in his own sorrow.
I'll take a few steps forward and say, if everything we're hearing is correct, this man's been possessed for a very, very long time.
And we can help him, but not through nice words and a cup of tea.
Just, I'm gonna come over and I'll be like, Moose, can you help me? Like, just like get the man up and just like lead him back downstairs.
Don't you get it? He doesn't matter right now. This is all going to change in moments.
It doesn't matter, Thomas. We'll take him with us. And I gesture at Constantine to grab him or like help him up.
I'll help him up. Help him with Constantine for now. Yeah.
And once I see them have him up enough, she's going to confidently walk downstairs as if that is the thing that she needs to do.
Okay.
She's trying really hard to not think about anything because she can feel him
Yep. Okay.
back of her head. So she's trying to think of like, she just keeps telling herself over and over. It's kind of like one of those things where like when you practice for like lie detector, right? She's lying to herself even like, this is going to work. I'm going to go back. I'm going to tell this story. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
We'll save all these people.
Okay.
She like legit thinks that it's going to work. So she's going downstairs.
Okay. Make me please an intelligence plus. It's going to be a weird roll because you're trying to lie in your mind to keep things quiet. So like an intelligence plus subterfuge roll.
Okay. Damn. And I don't have any more willpower. I don't have as many points in subterfuge.
And he gets a roll as well. So not as much as it would be.
Let's hope this goes well.
Let's see how you.
Am I sweet talking myself? Can that I'm
No,
just kidding.
not really.
Like I'm just trying to get out my pluses as much as I can. Oh,
Okay.
2. Ooh, that's good.
Okay.
It's better than it could have been.
Things seem to be going according to plan right now. So you're going down the stairs confidently.
Yeah, DM tells you that they can be lying to you.
So the three of you, so you're walking downstairs confidently, and the three of you help this man up. And do you leave him on the roof? Is that what you're planning on doing, or do you bring him down with you, or what's the plan with this guy?
Just leave him settle him in the room and then go.
With the mage downstairs.
Yeah. Just set him on the like.
I'm just gonna say mage because I assume you guys knew what I was getting at. Out of
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. So settle him just against a wall somewhere in a random part of the room.
Okay.
I honestly don't know what's gonna happen next exactly. So.
We can find out after the break, though.
Oh
no,
shit.
we're basically ready to. We're gonna push through it. We're gonna push through it.
You think so? Because we could use a break to kind of gather our senses before we do this last.
If you want to, we could take a break. Sure.
Yeah. Just
Sure,
take a break.
sure.
5 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah, everybody pee and calm down. Be back in 5.
Are you guys on edge?
Clear your mind.
A little, yeah. Bye.
I got the vapors.
Magic, I'm sure.
This is the mage. He's casting a spell right now.
I couldn't talk magic.
He's
Is he a
gonna-
millennial mage?
A millennial mage? Yes.
That would be so fun. Play some
I
like
imagine this is what Mathas's like weeb dance is. You know how like the songs have like
Yeah.
little dances to
is this
them.
playing in like the intro
And
to
he's wearing
Mathas
his
the-
like Sailor Moon outfit.
That's
Yes.
that's so dances and anime. That's so
He's the most magical girl. Oh my gosh, Mathas, you need your own like magical girl anime.
Whoever wants to make one, feel free.
No,
do
you
it.
have to make it. That's the whole point.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Are we live?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
How's it going?
Is he dabbing? Let's go.
Could you do that a little less twitchy?
No, that's a hardcore dab.
Okay, there you go.
I'm one of the Logan Paulers.
Haha, fellow kids.
Oh God. Okay.
Hello everybody. Welcome back. Here we go. Final hour. Okay, so you're all making your way down the stairs. It's Deborah went first because she's acting confident, followed by Thomas right behind her, presumably.
Yeah.
Then Moose, then Constantine.
Well, Moose and Constantine are holding the guy up. We're like carrying the
You're
guy
bringing
into the
him in.
room, and the two of them are in front of us.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go down, and eventually Deborah will walk her way into the large circular room, as you remember it. And as you walk into the room, the whispering gets much louder. Still not sure what he's saying, but it is angry and aggressive.
Cool. I'm gonna try to ignore it as
Okay.
much as possible.
But it doesn't seem to be trying to hostily take over your body or anything. So, which is a nice change of pace. The mage is on his side, still clutching, but his eyes are closed. He's clearly still breathing, but he seems to be asleep or unconscious or just like kind of holding himself and taking shallow breaths.
All right. Well, after I settle the man, I look over. My God, Jesus. All right. I head over towards the James.
Sure. Just to see if he's still kicking, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He is still breathing. He's clearly just fallen asleep for
All right.
whatever reason.
All right. So I'm going to like kind of like prop him up, like pull him up,
Mhm.
and try to like gently wake him.
It doesn't take much before his eyes will slowly open, see your face. He's like, "Is it over then? Already?"
We've come to terms.
Bargained with him.
Yes.
Very impressive, since he wouldn't hear a fucking word out of me. And this is that.
Well,
like
maybe
at
you
that,
weren't saying the words that he wanted to hear.
It's possible. That's when Moose will come down, followed by. Oh no, never mind, because Constantine was already in the room. So yeah, you're all in the room. You scratch what I was saying. And so he shrugs at that, and he'll slowly try and push himself up to a sitting position with his hand outstretched for the watch.
Now you're sure this will work? Because you've already ruined everything once.
I can undo what I've done.
Can I tell that he can confidently undo what he's done?
He seems very confident.
Can I tell if he's
If you
lying?
want to make a roll, you are welcome to do so.
I just want to know if he's lying or not.
Yeah. That would be a what was it? We had Scott roll a wits plus a subterfuge, I believe. Just to
Because
see
I
if he's
also, like, because I know that I have this other mind inside my head,
lying. Mhm.
I want him to also know that, like, I don't trust this guy per se.
Yeah. No, I see what you're
Clearly,
saying.
he does not trust him. So wits plus subterfuge.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wow, you're really good at that. Wow. Too bad.
1.
He seems to be telling the truth. He seems confident. No wavering in his voice outside of the difficulty speaking.
The blood loss.
You're not holding the other items. Why do you need to hold on to this one?
He's the anchor to all of this. His hatred and his anger supersedes that of everything else.
So do your thing. It's in the room with all the other items.
What? Say that again.
She said, so do your thing. It's in the room with all the other items.
I need to hold it.
You seem a bit weak. I don't know if you can handle this.
He shakes his head. If you don't hand that to me, then nothing will change.
I'll look up at Deborah. It's like, are we doing this or not?
Is it like getting electrocuted? Can she hold his hand as she holds the thing?
I can't have interference from your other spirits. I need just the watch.
All right, if you think you can handle it, you just look mighty weak.
I don't have a choice.
She hands him the
Yeah,
watch.
Okay. You drop the watch into his hand, and he clasps it, and his eyes shut as he holds the watch.
Fools! No, okay.
So he clasps it tightly and brings it close to his chest, and he closes his eyes. And he seems to be nodding along, listening almost to somebody speaking. And he's like, yes. I know. I apologize. You'll be free soon. No. No, but it's possible. Why? What did they tell you? And he seems to be having a conversation.
You're sending me back with my memories. That's what he's asking. And I'm looking at him like in the eyes like
You say that and eventually his eyes will slowly open. I told you, I can do that with the permission of the one that you inhabit. After this is all done. After I talk to her without you there. Without you tainting her thoughts.
Believe me, she'll want the story. If you offer it to her, she'll say yes.
I'm not sure I have the strength to keep more than one of you here, though. And he seems intent on you and Moose. I can't promise that. I never promised that. And he closes his eyes, and he seems to be struggling and fighting. Maggie. The fusion dance. Now we're one. So he actually takes a sharp breath. His eyes close, and
I'm gonna grab him by the shoulders and hold him up and make him and hold his chin up with my other hand and make him look at me.
His eyes aren't. They're shut tight.
Okay, well she's still gonna look at him in the eyes. Yeah. She knows that Josiah's there. Josiah, I will make sure that you get your revenge. Deborah and I are one and the same. If he offers her this, she will make sure that you are avenged. That the right thing happens.
The mage speaks, but it's not his voice that comes forth. How can you promise me that?
Things are different now.
I'm just gonna interrupt. It's because Deborah's the kind of person who does what's right. She does what's.
I wasn't.
She'll come through.
Liza wasn't the one. She's not the right person. I understand. She's weak. She was writing in her own name. Women don't do that anymore.
That's sad.
I have clout. Deborah has clout. She'll be able to make sure your story's heard.
Deborah's the best damn writer I've ever read.
He stays quiet, his face still incredibly angry, the mage's face.
I look to the others and I say, I know you guys read the weekly paper. You've read stories by George Lafont.
The name George Lafont, for those who are readed persons outside of Moose. You do know George Lafont. George Lafont is a prolific journalist, cracked many local and sometimes countrywide cases blown open in the newspaper.
Yeah, and I mean, he's just a credit to show that only really men can do proper journalism.
Yeah.
And she's saying that Deborah is this George.
So Deborah's 3 people.
Yeah, Deborah's 3 people.
Deborah's 3 people.
Deborah's used to being more than one person.
Yeah.
She understands.
That's why she's taking it so easily.
Deborah's actually a Geist.
Actually, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. That's why she's so good at keeping her pockets of
But the funny thing is, Deborah would technically become a Geist, wouldn't she, in this situation? I don't know. We'll worry about that later on.
The face is still very angry, not that of the mages. And he says, "Then I will make a pact with you, wizard. 1 year. 1 year they have to take care of these people. And if they do not, I return."
Moose will openly reach out for a high five from Deborah.
Deborah's not gonna give you high five.
I pull Moose's hand. I pull
Striking
him
out
back.
left and right, man. Left and right.
Oh, that's so painful.
She's still. You're literally
She's
trying to
so
give her a high
scared.
five while she's holding the other guy's face up to her.
Yeah. Read a room, Moose.
The face goes from angry back to pained in sharp, shallow breaths. And what happens when you return? Face again transforming. Your body is mine. Your knowledge is mine. And I will take matters into my own hands.
Wait, what does he mean by that? Like
He's
when I
saying,
go.
in 1 year, if revenge hasn't been taken, the mage's body will be inhabited by Josiah. And Josiah will use that body and whatever magical knowledge he has to do it his damn self.
Oh shit.
Oh
That's a
no,
Doctor
it's
Strange
fine.
villain
James
right
is a
there.
shit mage.
James is a shit mage.
The face goes back to the pained and back to the mages. Deal. And then it goes back to the angry face. Good. Then fine. Do what you will. Free me from this hell. And then it seems as though the angry face disappears and the eyes open again, and James sits in front of you. I hope you know what you're doing. The hell he can unleash.
I hope you know what you're doing. This,
I agree with Constantine. I hope you know what you're doing.
He shrugs. Somewhat. And he places the watch directly in front of him with his palm still on it.
Daelric.
Well, like I told you, Constantine, before you left, I do sincerely apologize for everything that I've done. I did not mean to get you four mixed up in this, but I wouldn't have been able to end it without you. I hope you're fine.
Well, lucky for you, you did.
Very lucky for me.
And how very unlucky for us.
I hope you find peace.
and I hope you find Jesus.
Satanist! He then starts muttering things and making some gestures and saying words, and the room around you within moments begins to change. The symbols and the things hanging on the wall and that mirror that was there all kind of sink into the wall, as though it's the wall itself is a thick liquid. The audio in here becomes echoey and loud. Every word that is muttered from the mage's lips is booming and painful, to the point of clasping your ears and dropping to your knees. How painful these words are. It feels as though everything in front of you is being seen through a stretched hallway, getting further and further and further away. And flashes of everything that you've seen and done is whisking away from your memory. Things that you shooting somebody and fighting these monsters, and the possessions are being forgotten a piece at a time. Your sense of self being confused and disappearing within the memories that you had before these spirits inhabited your body. The room, as it kind of everything sinks into the walls, into the rug, squares up. Furniture appears before your eyes, and what you see is an actual apartment and nothing more. The mage still clasping, blood pooling around him that wasn't there before. Blood kind of streaked against the wall where he clearly hit the wall and kind of dragged down, where he scuttled across. And those spirits, Thomas, or rather the spirits of those who inhabited Thomas, Moose, Constantine, and Deborah, are yanked violently at the last moment from those bodies. Everything you see before you, getting to a distance to be merely a speck before you are gone from this plane of existence. And those who are here, Moose, a thug for a local crime ring, Thomas, a amateur hobby photographer from England, Deborah, a hobbyist journalist who recently moved into this apartment maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and Jacob, a doctor who was just out of medical school, maybe last year. Sit here in the
Sent us backwards?
No, that's just who these mortals are.
Oh, okay.
You are still in 1950,
Okay.
but the memories of the spirit and the memories of the mortal were mixed to create an identity that you thought was yours. However, because the mage fucked it up so bad, the mortal's identity and the mortal's memories were dominant over that of the spectre.
Makes sense.
And you inhabit you are just mortals at this point. However, it's almost like waking up from a very deep sleep. You ever have those sleeps where you feel like you blinked and you didn't have dreams? You feel like you didn't have dreams and it didn't feel restful. That's how it feels. You almost like blink and open your eyes and it's been an entire night and day. And the sirens of the police are echoing from outside, and footsteps can be heard rummaging through the halls and the apartments just outside this door. And a man, clearly shot, sits before the four of you. And before him, he has some objects. You're pretty sure, hey, that's my telescope. Or my telescope. That's my stethoscope.
I'm like, my telescope.
I'm actually an astrologist.
You're right.
That's my
And,
carousel.
That's my carousel. And those matches belong to Moose. And those cigarettes belong to Thomas. And there's a newspaper there that belongs to Deborah that had her very first article ever printed inside of it. And this man dying before you.
I'm gonna blink and look around like, oh crap.
So we don't remember anything. We're just waking up, and
You went to bed last night after a long day,
I just woke up.
and you just woke up here. No memory of anything.
Where,
Oh, please
where am
don't
I?
die. It's my
And-
first day.
And
Do I know any of these? I know Thomas.
you definitely know Thomas. You've seen him around, and your hobbies crisscross. You've definitely seen the other two in the apartments. They live on Constantine lives on like the same or one floor below you.
All right, she just wakes up and she's like, where am I? Thomas, who are these guys? And oh my goodness, Sarah, are you okay?
I'm like treating him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna drop down and be like, hey, I'll hold him still. Hold on. And I'm kind of as you go to treat the wounds and the guy's like kind of writhing, I'm gonna try to because I'm meaty. I'm gonna hold him down.
So as you go and treat him, and he's like trying to say, don't. You don't listen to him. And Constantine, you go to, and he's been medically treated as best with the options that you have here. And he, because you did stay when you were still possessed, you stabilized him, so that's still there. And he's still stabilized, and he seems like he's been treated.
I'm like my character's just obviously
There's blood on your hands.
I'm very confused, but I'm just like checking the treatments. It was done very well.
Who shot you?
Done well.
Who shot you? And she's looking around. Like, do I see any? Like, is the door open?
Is there a
a gun nearby?
There is no gun nearby. The door to the apartment is closed, but the apartment looks like there was a fight in here. Looks like there was the table's turned over. There's a chair knocked over, and clearly he fought somebody.
Okay.
And he shakes his head when you ask who did it, and he's like, he's gone. He ran. He left the building.
Who was it?
I didn't get a good look.
How did we get in here? I don't know you, sir.
I don't know.
I'll call the police.
You hear the police outside. You can hear that. Like I said, you can hear.
I think they're
sirens
already
outside.
here, Thomas.
There were gunshots.
The fuzz is here. Listen, I'm O negative if you need and I'm gesturing to the doctor and the guy that's writhing.
I'll be like, we need to get this man to a hospital. I don't have the equipment here to do a blood transfer.
Look around. Is there anything that looks like long and straight that I can like throw him on and use like a stretcher?
The table, but the table's got long legs. So
Okay, I go over to the table because obviously it's about saving somebody's life, right? Go over to the table and kick out the legs. It's like,
Gotcha.
Boom.
Boom. I say, I'm like, I appreciate the gusto, young man. Actually, I'm not young man. I'm young too. So I'll be like, I appreciate the gusto, but the police are on their way. I can hear them.
You think they got a stretcher?
It's almost like they're waiting for role playing to finish.
You think they got a stretcher under their badge? And I finish kicking out like the last leg and bring the
They
broken
always
cable.
They always send an ambulance as well.
I'm gonna
It's
laugh
because they usually shoot people, but
I'm gonna laugh.
this one already was.
if they come in with a stretcher.
You gentlemen know too much about
So-
guns.
Right now they're in the hallway going, hut, 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 hut,
Well,
hut.
yeah, as like Moose is kicking out legs and you two are you're all talking to one another. And the Lar like,
I'm
On
gonna
the- on the
grab the newspaper that has my thing on it
Mhm.
and pocket it.
yep, no problem. But you hear bang on the apartment door and you hear, whoever's in there, open up.
I'm gonna run to the
Police.
door and open it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you open the door, there's 3 police officers, two with their guns kind of drawn but pointed up.
Officers, someone has been shot. The
Get
fellow
down,
who
get
shot
down,
him.
get down, get down! And they start
He
shouting.
gets down.
And I'm assuming you all get down, and they file in, the 3 of them.
Very lazily. I mean, I broke the legs, put the guy on the table. Very lazily get there and get down. It's like, like I'm used to it.
Yeah, of course. And the police are like, said like to point to the one who didn't pull his guns, like, get downstairs, get the ambulance, and get the nurses up here. We have tell them we have someone shot, and someone like scampers out.
I try to offer like my badge. I imagine.
Don't they have
You're a
walkie-talkies?
doctor. It's
Yeah, it's like
hell
I'm a
yeah,
doc.
50s,
I'm a
50s.
doctor working for whatever hospital.
After like one inspects, he's like, okay, you can get up. The 3 of you stay down, and you can start helping him treat. It's at that point the guy, the wizard, like looks up and he's like, after I'm okay, Deborah and Moose, we should have a conversation, but only after I'm healed.
I'm gonna look up at the cop and be like, "See, he knows me."
Yeah, at that, like the guy will look up. He's like, well, I appreciate it. The 3 of them have nothing to do with this. Everything's okay. It will be.
Well, he said 3 of them. There are 4 of us. Oh,
4 of you. 4.
Okay.
4 of
I
you.
was gonna say, which one of us is taking the blame for this?
Yeah,
Because one of us is taking the blame for this.
Who's the fall guy?
And he'll like close his eyes as he lies back, and you've got Constantine and two officers kind of leaned over him, chattering and
I
whatnot.
thought my name was Jacob.
The
Oh no,
spirit's name was Jacob.
oh yeah. Spirit's name is Jacob.
Yeah, yeah. And so he like again.
His name
he,
was James.
The mage is
It was
James.
Josiah was the spirit's name.
Josiah was a spirit. A lot of J's. I didn't realize. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
It's
yeah,
very
they're
confusing.
chattering over him and discussing, and the camera can pan out, can fade,
Okay, and it does.
and that'll be the.
Listen, okay.
end.
All I have to say is that I was saying this over in Twitch chat earlier. Maggie and I were more or less chatting. I was like, "This is amazing." If you like flash forward, let's say, I don't know, 3 years, and you say, "Oh, guess what? They failed." This is the opening of a great plot, mid to late 50s or early 60s, whatever you want to have it set. You have Deborah and Moose as effectively Geist. Moose is obviously different than the Moose we had before. He's less meatheadish. And when you become a Geist, you'd be even less so because you're more awoke. You're woke.
You're woke, yo.
Get woke, and then you mix it with 2 other party members of a different group, and you have like a 2 Geist, 2 non-Geist crew. Because we were talking about earlier, mixed supers. If you mix it the right way, it's good. Just don't put werewolves in there.
Sugar.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
And
say
don't put
it's-
vampires in there. Vampires ruin every mixed super game because you're like, "Hey guys, let's go." Oh wait, sorry. We have to
Yeah,
wait.
vampires are good on their own. Mixed, not so much. But yeah, no, I figured it'd be really good. Even if they succeeded, you still have a prequel story for 2 guys of Moose and Deborah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have the 2 of them. Oh, you mean if they? I imagine if they succeeded, but
No, because he said he would geist the 2 of you to accomplish the task.
yeah.
But I'm saying even if you succeeded, you still have a story there and a DM.
Yeah, but if you fail, you have
No.
Josiah as an already hated archvillain.
I agree with you, and that's
Yeah.
where my mind was as well. But I'm saying even if it went the less interesting way, there's still a prequel story there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just a less interesting prequel.
And there you go.
Thanks,
The end.
Awesome. All right.
A hippie Margaret or Ollie. Oh my gosh, I would have fun playing a hippie.
All right. So
Yeah.
before we do
Were
our,
there any-
our regular outro,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Dave, would you like to pat yourself on the back to some degree?
Yeah. So
Any
I
loose ends or questions that didn't get quite answered that I can hopefully answer for you?
no. The reason Scott said that is because I
'Cause
basically
you guessed it all.
I
yeah.
basically predicted the entire thing.
Yeah, he on our
To
off
be
time
fair,
guessed what it
kudos.
was, and he guessed exactly this, except for the only thing he had off was he thought we were from the future going backwards, but we were actually from the past. inhabiting the people.
To be fair, it did take you 2 out of the 3 sessions to come to a
Oh, that's not even to be fair. We didn't have enough.
But we didn't even
I
see
know,
anything really, so we didn't know.
so that is like
How
a story
dare you
thing.
not guess the plot in the pilot episode?
Well, hey,
The
some
fuck?
people might. That's somebody in chat said like, yeah, there's going to be some very interesting pictures on Thomas's camera of murder scenes and all kinds of shit. And
It's a ghost camera.
Nobody already.
This is the
put all
start of a
stuff in the room.
creepypasta. Someone's gonna
Right.
find this
Wait, hold
in
on.
60 years.
Thomas becomes a mage or something. Like, because if you
I
have to imagine,
actually was thinking about that.
yeah, because it's so easy that
Fascinating.
Moose and Deborah are intrinsically they're Geist. That just happens. But
Yeah.
Thomas with those creepy pictures. I'm trying to think of all the supers that exist. I think mage makes the most sense, right? Because he would be able to start to see the others. So you imagine Thomas, because he sees these other things, he might be able to like walk down the street and he starts seeing like, because magic happens often.
He's opened
but
his
most
eye.
people can't perceive it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You get woke, son. Again.
Woke. Yeah, just if like I said, if there were questions like if something came up, you don't know why it was happening.
And Constantine, just to tie it all together.
makes
No. He becomes Frankenstein, right?
Yeah, Dr. Frankenstein.
It'll be Constantine's monster.
Oh no!
Dave actually likes Prothean.
No, man. Constantine in my mind. Well, I mean, it's Dave's character, but the whole like Jesus and stuff. Constantine becomes a hunter.
Oh yeah. See,
That's kind of legit. A Dr.
Okay.
Hunter.
I see. I the only reason I push that stuff
Mage
is
the
because,
Awakening. Thank you.
just because I just imagined like
It's like a
character.
healing type of thing. He could be like.
Mage the Awakening. Oh, it's so good.
All right, say that. What were you saying, Dave? Say it again.
Oh no, I was just saying like I just taking that in the 50s in America. Like I just imagine like everyone is they're pretty much like very conservative.
Oh, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And like like you hear like even today, some people have a snap reaction like magic equals evil.
Wait a second. Wait.
No,
Wasn't
you were
Carter?
totally correct.
Wasn't Carter immediately after Nixon? And Nixon was like 52. Didn't Carter go right after Nixon? Which Carter's pretty left. So you're saying pretty conservative, but it took some lefty people to put Carter in office.
Are you saying Carter was president in the 50s?
Am I wrong? I don't remember the dates.
Quite.
Because Nixon got out of office in 52, right?
Hold on a second. I don't.
Who was immediately
Unless
after
Nixon was a mage vampire, I don't care.
Well, we're
Right.
talking about the society at the time.
Yeah, my biggest fear, I guess, in this last session was ending on a flop. So I hope you guys enjoyed the ending.
Ford.
Maggie fallouted the crap out of the ending there.
She crit success. I mean, she crushed my 9 dice pool.
Oh, he was 70s. I was way the fuck off.
Truman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Carter
Is
was.
Truman, Roosevelt, or well, not Roosevelt was before.
Eisenhower got out
Eisenhower.
at 53. I was out by 2
Eisenhower,
decades.
yeah.
So sorry. And then it was
I
Kennedy.
was like, now I'm curious, and I didn't want to be wrong.
No. Yeah, I was way off. I was off by 2 decades.
I was thinking Truman, but it was Eisenhower.
Truman's not that far off.
And what good
Yeah, it
came out of
wasn't
the
that far off,
60s
but I would have been wrong
anyways?
too.
Come on. What good came out of the 60s?
That was fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for giving me that. Yeah.
This was cool. I
was
love
good.
it.
Yeah. Mike and I, we were chatting about something we can do in like Lost Initiatives, like a hiatus that we're doing right now. And it was like, we talked about a couple ideas, and all of a sudden he was like, bing, I've got an idea. And I'm glad that it got cooked together as well as it did. So,
Yeah, I actually saw in the first video that you posted, I did straight rip the poker in an apartment like opening from a module I had read a long while ago. So that's what I ripped for the 4 of you to get together.
Who said that?
In one of your YouTube videos, your episode 1, week 1, part 1. Someone's like, I feel like I've seen this on YouTube before. That's because I ripped the poker game in the
commenter.
apartment.
So probably somebody else has done a very similar thing because it's an option.
Well, the opening is pretty beat for beat. Like,
I feel like a
Yeah.
poker game is a pretty, like, even if you didn't look at the
True.
module, it's an easy way to get everybody
and the
together.
module, and the whole module takes place in modern day as well, and it has nothing to do with what I did. Like, as soon as the weird shit started happening, I was like, oh, that's
The weird shit was great. I love this paranormal stuff, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to do a campaign that has.
That's right, Maggie. That's what I'm saying. Because like the way Thonk died over on LI, it actually started from a campaign, a side thing we did. I think it was a 2-session side thing we did here. and we ported those characters over there later on.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, this could easily act as a prequel for a later on Lost Initiative campaign, or continue with like go, because that's what the crew do, is they hunt down ghosts as a ghosts, like they go deal with supernatural. I don't know. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It feels good. So.
You tell me the ghosts hunt more ghosts?
The geists aren't the regular ghosts. They're ghosts. Okay. You know, they're supernatural entities.
There's like in World of Darkness, there's geists, there's ghosts, there's different varying powers of different ghosts, and however, like there are like Josiah, for instance, he's like a super powerful ghost, effectively a geist, but with different abilities.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. I think is everybody good? Should we start the goodbyes?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, we'll start with the easy one. Dave, who are you? How can we find you? Thanks.
I'm
Ollie, who are you?
Oh,
I accept.
No, how can we find you,
Dave,
Dave?
I want to hear about your day at the very least.
And did you get any jobs?
I did. I'm working now.
Awesome. Cool.
I'm working.
Yes.
Are you lawyering?
Yes, I'm lawyering now. My breaks are never long. It's just waiting to find a new case.
There you go.
And now I'm on one.
Just walking down the street, picked up this random briefcase he'd found, and was like, I'll keep it.
No, I'll say this: if anyone is here from the greater Boston area, the law, like the actual law community in Boston, is very small. Even though it's a city, it's a smaller city, and it's actually pretty intimate. So everyone kind of knows each other in the law community. You find your way.
Okay. Ollie, who are you? How do we find you?
Ollie. I'm Ollie Rant in some places, Ollie Smith in others. I am doing a bunch of stuff at the moment because I don't know what's good for me. I'm going to be playing Stellaris on Friday. I've not played it since like it came out.
Much better.
A ton of DLC. I'm going to be overwhelmed and it's going to be great. I'm going to need chat to hold my hand. I love it. I'm also going to be playing Into the Breach, and I'm also going to be doing a whole bunch of art stuff, and I'm on Scott's RPGs if you like the way I roleplay. Thomas was pretty quiet because he was drunk most of the time, but usually I play more loud, annoying characters in many other ways.
I don't think annoying.
I don't know. I've seen you play a lot of characters. They're not all loud and annoying.
Yeah, no, I mean, louder, sure. Annoying?
Louder
no.
than Thomas.
I mean, you've had NPCs.
Thomas was a
when you
stiff
DM.
upper lip Brit.
You have annoying NPCs, but that's your job as a DM, is to have annoying NPCs.
That's true.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I also, just to say, I do my own D&D game on Wednesdays before this at 7 p.m. GMT, and then you can see my world with all my NPCs, where Scott plays an annoying gnome that's terrible and might die next week, so you should check that out.
Thanks.
And that's me.
He's not terrible. He's nice and cares about things. Maggie, who are you? How can we find you?
Hey guys, I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone. Who'd have thunk? Yeah, you can find me there on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the things. I also have one extra thing, which is youtube.com/Margaret Crone Plays as well. So Margaret Crone is my vlog channel. Margaret Crone Plays is my gaming channel. Supposedly my internet's fixed. So I did a stream test on Monday and it was not fixed, but today apparently it is. So I'm going to be doing a test stream right after this to see if it is indeed. And if it is indeed, then maybe we will start doing our daily videos, which is 2 videos a day, and then also streaming back on my channel. And you guys can find me at Roll For It as well, twitch.tv/Roll For It on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays for more tabletop gaming, as well as I'll be on the official D&D channel, twitch.tv/D&D on Saturday at 6 p.m. PST. If you want to check that out, I'll be on Heroes Graveyard, where I play a half-orc barbarian because I really, really need it back in my life. But I'm playing the Xanathar's version, so I'm playing actually a Storm Barbarian, which I'm super excited to play.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Beautiful. Mike.
Mathas Games everywhere. Judge Mathas Games on YouTube as well. And if you really like paranormal weird shit, I do a bi-weekly podcast called the Chilluminati Podcast. We did
Solid.
Skinwalkers last time, and the next episode is Hollow Moon Theory.
What a transition.
It's a bonk. Well, we went Amityville, Skinwalkers, now Hollow Moon.
Skinwalkers is a pretty orthodox paranormal thing. I've never even heard of the Hollow Moon theory.
Oh my god, dude! Hollow Moon and Hollow Earth—they're totally different.
You need the awakening.
You need to be woke. You don't know about the alien race that lives in the middle of the Earth that is hyper advanced and watches us from beneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're lizard people. All right.
Reptilians! They're in the government, man!
Okay, and I'm Daelric. You can find me by Googling Daelric all over everywhere. But important thing, I am actually, if I don't crash and burn in a plane ride, I am going to be in Arizona next week, and so therefore can't stream because I don't even have Wi-Fi where I'm going. I had to call Verizon and say, yeah, how much to go unlimited? Okay, cool, I'm going to need that to survive. And that's where I'll be next week. So most likely ever on stream next Friday night, but nothing between now and then because I won't have interwebs.
Enjoy it, dude.
All right, I will catch y'all later. Bye.
Thanks so much for inviting us.
Bye.
This is
Yeah,
good.
thanks for having us on this.
I
little-
really enjoyed this.
You know, it was a lot
lot.
of fun. It was a lot of
And
fun.
it was so nice meeting you, Dave. You are awesome.
Thank you.
It was great meeting you. Also, I feel like I'm getting to know everyone that Mathas knows, like slowly. Mike's just like, let me introduce you to all my childhood friends.
We gotta get Keith next. No.
Yeah, Keith. All right.
Gotta put a face to a name, and so it was nice because we talk trash. I mean, talk about Dave a lot, so it's nice to have his face to, you know.
As I say, I'm part of the greater Mathas deep lore.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You gotta have
Well, this is great.
Anyone who watches this who enjoys Daelric or Mathas, they're integrated into the deeper, like the extended universe.
Yeah.
And they can say that they know the characters from the extended universe. So
Well, I think it worked out because like everybody had great chemistry together, so I think it was really fun. And I think even the Onyx Path was in chat, which was really cool that they joined and checked it out. Which are the publishers of the game, which is like awesome.
Yep.
So shout out to them. I don't know if they're still in chat.
Congratulations on your successful relaunching of Changeling and Vampire Masquerade again, which is awesome. So nice job.
Yes.
Kudos.
Awesome stuff. So if you guys want, go show them some love. Buy yourself some books because this is what helps keep those type of people and like me because I'm also a game developer alive. So
Yes. Buy the product. Don't just use PDFs. Bye.
Yes.
Bye
Bye, everybody.